This is critical.
Have you met the other two? They're here.
No, where are they?
Just down there. I'll tell him you're here.
I told them, but where's it happening? Down that way or up here?
Oh, I don't know. It looks like they're queuing up here. So that's the end. So make sure film the tank. When that Rupert, whatever the MP said, they're all here.
Oh, really?
Oh, here he is. I was just saying. I saw Sammy as well. Who? Sammy, she does. She works. You know Sammy. She used to do it for Tommy Robinson.
Oh, Sammy Woodhouse?
Yeah.
Do you know where it's happening, mate? Is it down there again? Or?
I don't know.
No.
We're still figuring I'm guessing they're going to
Is there no stage?
No, no.
Right.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what they're going to do.
I think last time they had it down there, and then they drove them all round after.
They've been driving them all around for the last hour or so.
Oh, have they?
They're just letting them park now.
The weather's okay here, mate. Up there, it's bad, man. Where's News Now Yorkshire?
I've got a fucking clue.
Oh. Much down there or not?
News Now, where are you? I'm just looking to BJE.
I've walked down there.
Only in the tunnel. Yeah, he's outside Downing Street. Alright,
Okay.
we'll make his way down towards you.
Yeah, I think last time it happened down here.
Give it a couple of minutes.
Have you seen Mr. Nigel yet?
No.
No. I guess so, but yeah, last time he was down here on his own. Managed to get him. Oh, your power pack's here, mate, if you need it now, or
I'm alright for time.
whenever.
Oh, there's going to be a stage here. Here we go, look.
Ah. Yeah, it was right here last time, I think. So you're setting the stage up, I think. Oh, right. Are you live now?
I tried running GoPro, it cut off and well, it started buffering, so then it just lost, it just dropped the thing, you know, it goes, it ends it.
Yeah. How's it going, mate? You right?
Well, we need that line.
Thanks.
I've only got 4 connections running now, but
I'm going to pause that over a minute. Just run it on the
okay,
phone.
720p, yeah. So I'm running. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How?
Prism.
Ah. I'm running 9,000 on 4 connections.
Yeah.
You can see there each one what they're running each.
Yeah.
As that drops, I know something's happening there. Just keep an eye on it.
I left me road mic at home, and I got the PayPal link. Dropped it in the chat because we have started a fund for the live view.
Yeah, everybody drop over to News Now Yorkshire channel. Give them a hand with the live view. Oh, it's got a coat on top, mate. You won't see it. No. I had 2 coats on. It was way too hot.
I'm going to show you the live view. Anyway, we are
Thank you, Nancy. There's the Blackborough.
Yes, now the people. They're quite with them.
I want to get a picture.
Yeah, so welcome to London, everybody.
In London.
Oh, is it? So we'll be here, will he, yeah? Presumably. The GoPro's not the best, is it, for us?
Look at yourself. You're going to get crinkled there, son.
I'm going over there. Okay. What today?
Oh, silly bollocks. You have to hold it, won't you, like a big lad? You got big strong muscles, it's alright. I forgot my road mic though, but it is what it is.
Get your road mic.
Yeah. We're going to pin you in. Stay there.
Didn't bring the bike today.
What?
No bike. Too difficult, isn't it, around here? And it's here.
Stay out of it. You can get it on with the guys.
Oh, right.
Don't get in now and look at that.
Okay. Yeah, last time was crazy busy.
Charger into it. If you don't put it there. Mate, hey, look, Pinto They will be quite happy to import foreign food and charge and tax the general public more and more. We need to stand firm with the farmers. Dig for victory and bury Starmer and his policy. Yes, now people are saying who's in the chat. We've got a loop in an hour and a half. Be a little while, guys. What can I use, guys?
How much are you? What you're talking about?
Is that camera?
How much is that? I don't know, a long time ago, I've had that now.
You got one.
That's good.
How much did you pay for your little camera? 205. Then this extra bit's 80 on top of that as well.
I only use it for live stream, nothing else.
Oh, you do your live on this?
Live now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just taking photos.
They didn't know the difference between hectares and acres when they calculated taxation that would fall upon farmers. And it's an embarrassment when you're civil servants and politicians are that greedy.
Pardon? All right. Because it gets really packed here, all the phones start going off.
Well,
Yeah, like,
there is a spot, and it's right in the middle. John gets a clean stream. We was there with Street Mike, we was there with TV News, and no one could get a signal.
last time it happened.
It was
Even I was okay,
insane.
and then all of a sudden, started playing up.
Yeah.
The wall hooked at 10.
Yeah.
The key is to get connected early.
Does that make a difference? Would you say that? Yeah, that does make a difference.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Trying to get onto a network that's already busy is difficult.
Yeah.
But if you're already on it,
Yeah.
then you've got the priority.
You've got the space,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we'll see.
We've been live since 10 o'clock. Fucking hell, man.
See how it's alright.
Tractor porn, innit? It's just like, oh my goodness. Tractor porn, innit? If you're into tractors, you've got to be here today, man. You ended up staying the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah. I might put my hat on actually. Less exposed, isn't it?
Independent journalism going on.
Good? I'm very well. I'm doing a live.
Over there. Where's it, Brian? Where's Monkeys? Over there? Still looking at them.
Nick Tyson's already been down. Nick Tyson's already been down. Yeah. I'm probably the oldest out of all of us currently.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Cheers, mate.
I don't mind, it don't bother me. I've got a problem at all. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
You know, they're not, a lot of youngsters are on the left. They don't have a clue what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
Yeah.
Maybe don't swear.
No, I'm gonna say shit.
You might just miss it. Innit?
True. Why do you keep slandering Tommy?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be the actual stage on there. Yeah. So we're in a good spot here.
Sceptical about the government's intentions here. You know, why are they making a big display of the farmers? Why are they taking on the farmers?
Because it's a land grab. It's a land grab. Starmer is following orders from the farmers. And he's a good landlord. And it's a land grab. They want to bankrupt all the farmers and then take all the land.
Yes, now Matterby's taken over the DJ live stream. Everybody stop watching his video and just head over to mine, alright? I'm not live really, I'm only joking, guys. Big up.
The land grab is to control the food supply.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, no, it's the same ones anyway.
Yeah.
They want us to eat artificial meat and artificial
I've got
meat.
two and you've got one and they all look the same.
We're not having it. That's why we all live.
I could never see myself eating worms.
Oh, you don't know.
Oh, is that what happened to the green? I didn't even know that. The wire probably. I'm not sure if I've got spares.
Done it, screen. Yeah, we'll do.
I mean, some people would argue to get reform into government, they're going to start the process of changing this system, this corrupt system that we've got. Would you agree with that?
I just had the fortunate luck to bump into Rupert Lowe just a minute ago. And I've got a nice little interview with him. Space.
Yeah, we've saved you space, mate.
Thank you, darling.
This is us.
There it is, Big G.
Here's our man from New York.
Did you fly out?
Went
Did you get?
over
Today?
Yeah.
No.
I thought you was going to fly, man.
I didn't get asked to go today.
I thought someone was.
I'll be like 10 minutes then.
It'll take time to get the approval for here. Like,
Time this has been thankful. We're live anyway. So people
yeah,
can
so
hear
am
you.
I.
Live and direct.
Would you believe it?
Street mic.
Can I just swing you bob in there?
A cigarette.
Yeah. Are they gonna let you in there?
No, they're not. This is the front.
Get the van, go and get the van, I'm having this.
Would you believe it?
Oh, in that case,
Would you believe it? TikTok restrictions. Yeah, no, seriously.
Are you in?
TikTok is absolutely incredible. Unbelievable. They are the most woke, lefty outlet I've ever come across.
your bouncer, I'm going to nick your camera.
See if we're going to get anywhere, guys.
I normally charge
We've got
Roy Banachek. Wendell, Street Mike.
Street Mike.
yeah, we've got Wendell Street Mike
Urban
with
Scoop
Urban
representing.
Scoop, a big station and a big man.
DJ Audits.
Would you believe it? This guy actually went over to America to watch and film Trump's inauguration.
And they cancelled it.
Yeah, hold on.
Nightmare.
If you call them over, call them over.
Here, this young man.
Urban Scoop.
Yeah.
We're the biggest.
Are you?
Yeah.
We don't need GB News and Sky News and
Independent journalism.
We're the best.
And we're far right.
So why are you supporting the farmers today?
The farmers are the lifeblood of Britain. They're our last major industry. We've sacrificed our coal industry, we've sacrificed our steel industry, we are even sacrificing manufacturing at the altar of, how shall I put this, greed of the banks and the World Economic Forum. If we don't stand shoulder to shoulder with the farmers, we're going to be not capable of being self-sufficient in food in this country. Our farmers already are underpaid for working 365 days a year. We need to support them, otherwise we're going to rely heavily on food imports, which our balance of trade cannot afford. We're no longer able to import the way we are, whether it be from China or Europe.
So you mentioned the World Economic Forum. Do you think that Keir Starmer and his Labour government are actually only puppets?
He is a puppet and he bows before Davos. He's already said he puts Davos, he's quoted as saying it, before the interests of Westminster. And that to me is a betrayal of British sovereignty.
He gets more done at Davos than he does at Westminster.
Well, maybe because at Westminster he has to listen to the British people and not Klaus Schwab.
So, with having the inheritance taxes coming, do you think that there's maybe a bigger picture behind it?
Much bigger picture.
What
They
would that
want
be?
to own the land, they want to own your home. Once we go digital currency-wise, nobody will own anything. Their bank account and money won't even be theirs. It's difficult enough now as it is to say, I own this or I paid for that. They're going to tax you out of sight.
So that sounds a bit, very much like social credit system and kind of communism.
A form of what's happening in China now. Yeah. All I can say is that Britain needs to wake up and wake up very fast to what is happening around us. Our opposition in Parliament seem to be incredibly weak as regards balance of trade and trade. We need to re-establish a manufacturing base in this country very quickly, otherwise our economy is going to be flushed down the toilet.
Thank you so much.
God bless you and
bless
peace
you.
be among you all.
Thank you. If you sum that up and then we've got 5 minutes.
Okay, so what we learned right now is that there are a lot of people who are thinking there's a bigger picture behind the inheritance tax. Also with the connection Keir Starmer and World Economic Forum, which literally want you to eat bugs and own nothing and then you will be happy. So I was at Davos when they had this World Economic Forum meeting and I had the chance to interview people who are attending this event who paid $20,000 to go there and they didn't even know what they are signing up for. So they never read the book, The Great Reset. So it is very concerning that people are paying thousands of dollars to go somewhere and they don't even know what. Okay, so now we have to find more people to interview. I have only about the minutes. Why are you supporting the farmers?
Because without clean water we don't have fresh food. So that's why I'm here, because our water is very toxic at the moment in London. I'm here to support the farmers because 500 farms were also soaked in sewage soil when London got done by Thames Water in 2021. So that's why I'm here.
So, what do you think about the inheritance taxes, for example? Because they are debating this today in Parliament.
It's just an excuse to cover up the water scandal. That's all it is. It's disgusting. Again, without farming, without water, we don't have food. Without farmers, we don't have food.
Yeah, without water you don't live. So it's
well, there you go, source of life. There you go, girl. But no one wants to talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you, my darling.
There's some urban scoop interviews going on just in the foreground there.
We were just stealing some content from Urban Scoop.
That's it.
maybe said about 5 so I don't know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nosy stick.
See this gentleman, he's not as well known as me. Can we interview you? We're just live at the moment on Urban Scoop. We're just getting some people to
What
fill
is
in
Urban
space.
Scoop?
Urban Scoop is an independent news outlet.
Yeah, all right. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you're doing a documentary about farmers.
Okay. Yep.
So, as the interview, you're supporting the farmers, but you're also lobbying a little bit with the parliament to get them to stop the inheritance taxes. What is the most important thing what you want to achieve today?
We need to get the message to government. They've got to do something about this. They have to change. It's deeply unfair. It's put farmers in an impossible position, and they have to listen. And we're not going to go away.
Yeah, but what I heard already, there were already 2 other demonstrations, protests, and the government is not listening. What do you think is different today to the other 2?
So it's the depth of support. There's more tractors than last time. It's still going. Here we are 3 months on. People still feel just as strongly. The government, I think they thought they could just manage this away. And there's a clear message from farmers. They haven't forgotten. They're not going away. They have got to act.
So, with the inheritance tax, it is literally the tip of the iceberg what destroys modern farming in Britain. Because I'm doing a documentary for Urban Scoop right now, and I had the chance to talk with several farmers. The biggest problem what they mention is also the very low prices on food and what they get in the end out of it, because it's very expensive to keep the meat coming to the supermarket. So how do you, as NFU, get the supermarkets, also the government, to be much more positive and welcoming to the farmers to get higher food prices?
So this is all about food security, how much food we grow in this country, and the government and everybody backing farmers. They've had a difficult few years. You'll hear said so often, this is the final straw. They've got nothing left to give. There's been a series of challenges of policy and weather and economics, and now it all comes together, and it's now got to the stage where what's going to happen is people are just going to give up and walk away. They don't want to do that because they know how important it is to grow food. This matters. This is really, really important to our country and for our security as a nation. And we're a big country. We import a lot of food. We don't want to import even more food. So the government need to do whatever they can to back farmers. Inheritance tax is just one of them. Whether it's policy, trade, all these things, they need to look at it all.
So, with having that said, do you think you are welcomed by the people with those protests? Because a lot of people say, the farmers are rich because they have so much property, they have all those very expensive tractors, and they have so much cattle, so they should be actually billionaires, but the truth is it's not really what it is.
So farmers are disappearing all over the world. I mean, Europe has 1 million less farmers in a decade. That's a quarter of the farmers gone in Europe. This isn't a problem exclusive to the UK, but farming is a strange game. It needs a lot of money, a lot of land, a lot of capital, and the returns have never been that great. It's a very unique industry. We don't want special treatment, but people need to understand the challenges that farmers face, because unless they do that, the food will stop coming, and that matters for everybody.
So there was one MP, I can't recall his name, but he said if the farmers don't get enough out of farming, maybe they have to find something else as a second income stream. What do you think about that? Because being a farmer 24/7 working on the farm, that's literally not happening. What do you think?
So the real danger is here we lose the communities in our countryside and the skills. Well, once those people go out farming, they tend not to come back. So that's why it really matters. There's a kind of critical mass thing here. We don't have the people who know how to rear cattle, they know how to milk a cow, they know how to grow a crop of wheat. What are we going to do? We can't lose those skills. We need to look after them.
What do you think about education right now? Because when I was younger, we had those farming weeks where you go once a month on a farm and see how they deal with cows and all that stuff. I didn't hear that this is happening in the UK. Do you think there's a good bridge between the rural people and the people in urban cities?
So the UK has become much more urban-based over the recent decades. And it is about that connection between town and the countryside. But look, that's why we're here. That's what today is all about. This is the countryside coming to town and saying it matters. But look, when I go out with people in towns, when we've taken farming to the towns, we've had overwhelming support. not everybody, but most people understand that food is important, it matters, and that you need a farmer to eat 3 times a day. It's that simple message. So whilst they don't have a deep connection with where their food comes, I think they do understand how much it matters.
So we are live right now. What is your message to the audience who's listening?
Our message is, look, farming matters, it matters across the world, food matters across the world, and we have to look after our farmers to get it right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
Can you keep my plate? I'll go there.
If you go back a bit,
What's that? Oh, true.
So, why are you here today?
Basically here to make the government actually hear what we actually got to say as farmers, because they clearly aren't listening to this inheritance tax that they've brought in, and we're basically saying we are not going anywhere.
So, as a farmer, how much does the inheritance tax affect you?
So we're only an average-sized medium dairy farm, so we milk about just over 200 cows, which is just below average. We farm in the middle heart of Cheshire, which isn't far from Manchester and Liverpool, so the value of our farm is unfortunately, in this position, is unfortunately higher than the average in the country. So we are potentially looking at a tax bill of over £1 million.
Yeah, but you don't really. So what I learned, because I'm doing a documentary about farmers, and in the dairy business, you're not really dictating the prices. You have to be happy that they take your milk, because you're always producing milk.
Yeah.
Your cows are always producing, so you have to get rid of it. Yeah, shortly said, you have to get rid of the milk. So what would be your message to the government right now? Not only getting rid of inheritance taxes, but also about having fair prices for milk and dairy products?
I think really the true answer to that is looking at the overall countryside economics, that farmers are price takers and not price makers. And that's the way it has been. Like, that's our primary industry, and there are very, very few primary industries left in the UK. Farming being a massive one, and we're just not being listened to. And then suddenly it's all about sort of tertiary industries. And people forget about the people that are also associated with farms. So that's what I really want people to understand, is that it's not just about the dairy farmer, it is about all the connected industries. You can't walk anywhere in the countryside now without someone who is involved or connected to farming, at least in a secondary or third tertiary way. There's so many other service businesses. Myself, I'm a veterinary surgeon, so I deal with farm animals, and that's impacting, or will impact, our industries if we lose our client bases. Farmers are going to go out of business over this tax.
So being a veterinarian, I have to ask you about this wonder pill, what Bill Gates is promoting, that it stops cows from farting because that should decrease the carbon dioxide. So what do you think about putting kind of artificial ingredients into a cow for something what they just do, and that end up literally in the meat and in the milk?
So that has to be, like, for anything to be licensed with cattle, it has to be rigorously tested. But I think where that went wrong was that people's public perception is that the public do not want that, and I think that's a really fair comment. It was really, really obvious that what happened is the public do not want. They want a natural farm, and that's why one of the reasons why we're here is that we don't want to have to grow our farm to a certain size to be sustainable, and that is what is having to happen, because it's like someone else saying, oh, you have to sell 20% of your warehouse or your factory, or 20% of the tools that you use every day to create your business. So we want to keep the small family farms. We want to keep animal welfare high. We want to maintain our standards, and we just want to produce your food. And that is what we're really, really interested in. And one of the reasons why we're standing here is that that's what we want to do. And this tax will massively get in the way of that. So I think that's one of the things that is really coming out, especially as a result of the Bovia that you just asked about, is that is what the public wants. So they want a farm like ours where we don't farm.
We put natural produced food into a cow and that cow naturally produces milk. That is or meat. That is what the public want.
They want
the
public want small family farms. They want to go talk to the farmer that produces their milk. They want to engage with it, and that's what we believe. So we don't want to have to go to other more industrialised factors like other countries have had to do because of the price. So this is so involved in so many things that it's one small part of why we're here.
I think the unfortunate thing was that it was a bad PR thing, probably by Arla, because that's who you're obviously referring to. And obviously, unfortunately, it got in the way of the actual message that we're trying to get to the government, that going back to the inheritance tax, is we need to basically be focusing and concentrating on this issue. And unfortunately, this Bovie probably got a little bit in the way, to be honest.
So we are live right now, and what is your message to the audience, the British audience who are listening?
40,000 watching.
40,000.
Only 40,000. My message to the public is to open your eyes, stay curious, and engage with the farmers wherever you can. A farmer will spend their time. They will give their time and explain whatever you want to whoever. If you are not educated about farming, if you are not educated about where your food comes from, it's time to get educated because it's under threat.
Yeah, I'd say to speak to the actual farmers themselves who are actually doing the work. Don't just necessarily basically read and believe everything you see on social media, for example.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. So this was a dairy farm couple in a veterinarian. So what we could summarize from this interview is it's very important that the community, it doesn't care if you're urban or rural, you have to stand behind your farmers. You can talk to them. I met a lot of farmers. They're very happy to explain to the people what they're doing, how they're doing it, and why it's so important to back the farmers. And yeah, that's why we're here today, and I try to get more interviews with you.
But I'm staying here.
You stay here.
What we'll have to do, we'll have to bring them towards us, and I've no doubt we can pull them. Sir, come, let's do an interview. Don't be scared. You're a young farmer. You've got a lot to say, man. Come. There's 40,000 watching. Come and talk. Come and talk to Urban Scoop. Because if I leave, I'll leave the shop.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's for Urban Scoop, 40,000 people are watching right now. So, where are you from, and what are you going to say to the people on stage?
So I'm from a family farm in Leicestershire, and I'm just going to talk about how all of the government's actions are either going to affect the younger generation, and how scary it is not knowing what the future of farming is going to be now.
So, how much does the inheritance tax actually impact your family? So you talked about that you are afraid about the future, and so is there literally a facing problem that you could maybe lose the chance to be a farmer in the future if this inheritance tax will come in place?
Yes, so definitely. So we've got a very small farm, 450 acres, and realistically, if we get hit by the inheritance tax, it's starting to become too small to even farm. As already it's only enough for one person to farm, and if the inheritance tax comes, we're going to have to sell a portion of this, which then makes the farm unviable to even farm.
Can I ask your age?
I'm 15.
15, yeah. Wow, thank you so much, and thank you for your bravery and courage to go on stage and talk about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. How do you prepare for standing on the stage and speaking to the world?
So I'm actually a member of the Young Farmers, and in Young Farmers, really good. They do public speaking competitions, and that's where I've gained my confidence to be able to speak in front of people, and without that I wouldn't even be here today.
Thank you so much.
But you know something, there's just one other because
he doesn't stop.
Because unlike this normally, you're going to be up there. So we just have a little insight into what you can do.
Yes. So I'm going to be talking about how the younger generation are only going to be impacted by all the government's actions, and why younger generations should still get involved with farming, even though all these problems are going to impact them.
And the thing is, you are a voter in future, so literally the government, the Labour Party, and actually every party in this country, Reform or however you're going to call them, they should listen to you because you are the one who's actually deciding if they're going to be sitting in the government or not.
Yeah.
So if you can send a message to our audience, Britain is watching you, what would that be?
My thing is just look out, support the farmers and acknowledge what they're here for and how they will actually impact you as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jessica Sharp.
Jessica Sharp.
Yes, that's Jessica Sharp. So you see, even a young woman, 15 years old, has much more courage than Keir Starmer in standing up for what is right. So he should take a little bit her as a role model and make the right decision today and just X the farmer's tax.
Excellent, sir. Let's get some more. Sir?
My English is getting better and better though.
You fancy an interview? Come on. Don't be scared. 40,000 want to listen.
40,000 want to do it. Oh, okay, up there, right. Sure, yeah.
So, why are you here today? And where are you from?
Well, we're from Surrey, Sussex border. I've got a farmer son who lives in Somerset and he works at the Yo Valley Farms. So they're having extreme troubles down that way, obviously. From his patch. But I'm a great supporter of the farmers. It's a hell of a job that they've got going. On top of that, I think the likes of Mr Clarkson and Caleb Copeland have really brought it home to the public to realise how hard it is out there just to try to make a couple of bob.
So you're speaking right now with alternative media. Do you think that the mainstream media, the so-called legislated media, is literally taking a stand for the farmers and covering this event? Because some of those media outlets even try to frame the farmers to be far right.
I think there's a bit of a warped view of farmers. Maybe the media might have the wrong end of the stick. I mean, there's this sort of impression that all farmers are rich. And, you know, that is really not the truth. There are rich farmers out there, of course there are, but the majority of people are born into it. It's generations of the same family still trying to make a living. And they're very, very skilled at what they're doing. Unfortunately, most of the help that they've got over the years through various governments and whatnot has been withdrawn. Once we come out of the EU, it was even further sacrificed, British farming, and now they're just absolutely struggling. It's ridiculous, you know, just to produce a pint of milk these days, it actually costs more money to produce it than what you can sell it for.
So, with having your son being a farmer, you are very afraid that he loses his work, his passion, because farming is not only a job. You really have to have the passion to be a farmer nowadays. Like what you said, you're not really getting that out of what you put in.
It's a lifestyle, and you know, if I just say for my own son, he has never done anything other, and he would never want to do anything ever again, you know, differently. So, you know, I have to support him on that one. He's not alone. There's many, many people like that in this world, and also,
sorry. Lovely, isn't it? Hi. How's it? Who are we with?
We are with
Urban Scoop. Urban Scoop. I know that. There's 40,000.
40,000. We are an alternative media outlet. So, why are you supporting the farmers?
Well, I've got a rural constituency, and I've had the chance to talk to my farmers about how vulnerable they are financially. But even if I didn't have a rural constituency, we all eat food. We are all heavily reliant on these people because this is the food production industry for the UK. And this is a very poorly thought through tax. It puts these businesses at risk, and if they go under, it will push food prices up for everybody. It will mean the environment is not as well managed, and inevitably it will mean that the things upon which we all rely will be more expensive, and that will hurt everybody.
Yeah, especially you are an island, like Britain is an island, so if you stop producing food in your own country, you are depending more and more on imports. And what I learned, because we're producing a documentary about farming, is the farming in Britain has a lot of regulations to keep the standards very high about the food that's very healthy, and you don't put a lot of artificial chemicals into the food. You can't really do this or control this when you're depending on import. So how do you going to address this problem into the Parliament?
So we've always had some food imports in the UK economy. That will always be a part of it, but we've also got to make sure that we support our domestic food production as well. And this tax puts all of that at risk, and that's why I'll continue to oppose it. Thanks very much. Cheers a lot, guys. Thank you.
James,
Okay.
James. Chat for a couple of minutes. Oh, just have it? Yeah. Please remember the news. You keep holding back Don't worry, it's
Yeah.
Just saw a lot of no problem.
Who was that then? James.
He's over there somewhere. Oh, he's gone. He's there.
Sorry, I can't pick it.
3, 2. Is it alright to get video?
Right, we ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Hi, it's Councillor David Moore here, standing up for farmers. Great to be here with James Pevry and fantastic farmers here today. James, why is it important to stand up for farmers all over the world?
Look, David, these people produce food. Everybody, every single day, relies on the products of this industry. And no other industry would have a government put such a question mark over its viability. This is what the Labour government has done. They don't understand farming, they don't seem to care about farming, they are doing potentially irreparable damage, and we have got to stop them.
Absolutely. James, thank you very much.
Cheers, David. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
No, I'm sorry.
Mark Scott.
And so, sir, come talk to me, man. You're down here as a live streamer. What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Marty Blackborough.
Who?
Marty Blackborough.
Martin Blackborough. Have you and I engaged online recently?
We spoke on a number of events that we both worked on together.
Oh, all right then. But tell me, what is it like for you to be down here today, covering this event as an independent journalist?
Well, for a start, I shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here, should we? Shouldn't be doing it for a start of. And, you know, I'm not going to stand here and pretend I know a whole lot about farming, but what I do know is that farming is darn important to us as a nation to be self-sufficient. And as you've heard of from many people, if we're just going to give it away, we're going to ruin farmers' lives and take everything that they've got, what are we going to do now? We're just going to start giving all this money away to other countries and just importing?
Yeah, that's correct. But isn't it so great? You and I have covered many events over the years. Yeah. Have you ever seen anything like this in regards to, other than Black Lives Matter, have you ever seen anything like a roadblock down here in Whitehall like this?
Never, nothing even close to it, not once.
It's going to be an amazing event.
It's absolutely brilliant to see the people that have come together. It's a sea of beige and green. It's wicked.
But do you know something? Do you reckon the Prime Minister, Sakia, do you reckon Sakia is going to be over there listening and watching?
Probably not. He'll probably be somewhere else not giving a toss, if you ask me. My
so
opinion.
just look at the camera now. Talk to Sakia. Send a message out to Sakia.
I don't think I've got anything that I should be saying on here.
Listen, man, we believe in freedom of speech, but what you must remember is that the 40. How many people watching now? How many thousands watching?
14.
No, not that. Up a bit.
45.
So for the 45,000 people watching, we love you, and the reason why you're watching this is because we are real journalists. I'm going to ask this brother here. Talk your talk, man. Talk your talk, man.
Talk on the spot. A message from me to Kia.
From everyone.
From everybody here. You're an absolute prick.
Hold on. I agree you can say what you like, but the people who watch me have class. They have.
I told you I had not good to say.
They
Yeah,
have decorum, not like you. And but you said he's a prick.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's a prick?
Ever since he's come into power, the nation has just voted against him. He's made multiple bad decisions. And all you need to do is watch the news for 20 seconds and everything is negative unless you're, looking at certain channels that we're not.
But you know something, yeah? I used to like Sakir, who, when he was the director of public prosecutions, I dealt with him.
Did you know?
A murder case,
right?
And it was a case involving double jeopardy.
Okay.
If someone has been convicted of you can't be retried.
Yeah,
and there was going to be a change in the law, and we was engaging on that specifically.
Yeah.
But I had respect to him. Yeah. When Tony Blair brought him into power, and he did, made him the director of public prosecutions, I thought, yeah, man, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But now I see this useless I can't even say the words. He has misled the people of this country. He ain't no British English gentleman like Street Mike. Yeah, he's terrible. So, are you hoping to engage with Jeremy Clarkson after me?
I would love to have a chat with him. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. I'd love to have a bit of a chat with him on cameras and.
Yeah, but we've done already. That funny geezer just now from who used to be
that funny geezer,
Mr. Cleverly.
Yeah, Mr. Cleverly. Yeah.
Not so cleverly.
Not so clever. Is that what we call him? Not so cleverly.
Yeah. But all I can say, sir, is thank you very much, and it has been great. I want to engage with some more people.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, Marty. 45k one is watching that.
Do you know something? Did me and you not have a conversation about non-disclosure agreements?
There was something being said, but I can't remember exactly.
I don't disclose certain things. I don't tell people certain things. So if you step forward, mate. So 1 minute I'm on the camera, next minute I'm in front of the camera. So I hope you don't mind me doing this. It's purely to get it in frame. So what's your name?
Elaine.
So Elaine, tell me more about today and why it was important for you to be out here supporting the farmers.
It's the second time I've come from South London, and basically I like to eat.
Oh, do you come from South London?
Yeah.
So you like your curry goat?
I like to eat.
You like curry goat?
Anybody who likes to eat should be here.
And what is your own view on the fact so many tens of thousands of farmers are out here today because they're against the tax that's going to be coming?
Okay.
You know, what do you have to say about that?
I have to say it's pretty clear that when Bill Gates came visiting a little while ago and then they announced this tax, you put the dots together.
So do you believe this is a conspiracy theory based upon the World Economic Forum and Bill Gates?
I don't think it's a theory, it's a fact.
It's a fact. So what has to be gained by screwing over the farmers? Well, that's my language.
Bill Gates is a eugenicist, his father was a eugenicist. He injects people when they die, so why not starve them when they die?
I hear you. But you know what's really great for me to be down here? I have covered so many hundreds of events, in this great city. I have never seen anything like this.
It's lovely,
before. But I've seen something as good when Black Lives Matter down here. But I'm only joking there. But I've never seen nothing like this.
It's lovely.
And it's so great to see it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good nature, just like the last one.
Yeah.
Except the last one had more green jackets and smelled of dung.
Yeah. But can you just imagine if all of these tractors, none of their engines started up? The problems that would cause.
I know, and the 2 tanks that are down there as well.
And the 2 tanks.
Yeah.
and one of them is German, but it's PMQs on Wednesday. Just imagine if they can't move all of these.
Wouldn't that be a shame?
But they got another route. They can go that way, and they can get out and bypass.
They could, but thank you for interviewing.
So what I like to have a laugh and joke, but what do you hope will be achieved from today?
That they'll do a U-turn.
Yeah.
But it's doubtful because they seem to be on a definite course of causing mayhem everywhere they go.
But you know the great old late Margaret Thatcher used to say this lady's not for turning. But do you honestly believe that Sakir is going to do a U-turn? Because he don't like the farmers. He thinks they're rich. He thinks they got a lot of money.
He knows knows they haven't. He knows it's just about stealing land, and it wouldn't be any better if it was any other of those so-called leaders that have been selected from the World Economic Forum. So.
Yeah. So look into the camera.
Yeah.
So you see, I believe in openness and transparency. Oh, that's the microphone. Talk to the people. There's 50,000 watching. Talk to them. I'm not scared.
So we all know the World Economic Forum chooses these leaders and puts them in charge, and it doesn't matter which one you put in, they're all going to do the same thing. They want to jab you, they want to starve you, they want to just get you all angry so that they can bring in new limitations to your speech, to any protests that you might have. That's what it's all about. And they're going to try and wind us up until we snap, and then they'll bring the new laws in.
Wind.
There you go.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much. So anyone, would you like to be interviewed, my dear? We're currently live and direct. Not many people are watching. Only about 50,000 because I'm rubbish. So if you step forward, what's your name?
Claire Roselli.
So Claire, tell us why you are here. If you come purely a sound thing, why are you here today?
Well, I've come to support the farmers. I come from a farming family and a very huge food producing area of the country, Cheshire and the North Wales borders, and that food security is very, very high should be very high on all our lists. Because if there's no land to produce the food, and there's going to be a very serious issue for everybody. So everybody should be supporting the farmers today.
What is that like to be associated or linked to a farming family? Can you describe the typical day?
Farming is a very hard life to earn your living from. It never ceases. It's never a day off. It is a tough life, and they're the one thing that keeps them going is that they can hand their farm to their next generation.
That's right.
That's the only payoff I'm afraid they get.
And I've heard that within the farming community, there's lots of mental health issues and potential suicide. Can you tell us more about how this stress is affecting people?
That is a very serious issue. We've already heard of one tragedy that's happened, and there's a high possibility of others. People are desperate, and it's a very high priority and a very serious issue.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and we hope Sir Keir is going to be listening. We do hope that there is going to be a U-turn today. I've never seen nothing like this, and they're going to listen. Let's hope so.
So it's discussing the figures that we need to discuss the actual figures that matter.
All right then. Thank you very much. Yeah. So how are you, my darling?
I'm fine.
So look into the camera.
Yes.
Yeah. How many people watching now?
48k.
So 48,000 people want to listen to you spout rubbish. Yeah. So you're normally down here every week with Steve Bray. Big up Steve Bray.
Yeah, well, big up. I don't know. I'm now like a freelance. So.
You're freelance. So does that mean Steve Bray, the well-known Brexiteer, has sacked you? You've been fired. Is that true?
Well, I just decided to take my own career in my own hands. So being more of a Tom now.
All right then. So you have probably covered as many protest events like me in Whitehall.
Yes.
Describe for the people watching what you're seeing, feeling and hearing down here in Whitehall.
It's overwhelming.
So it is, isn't it?
It's overwhelming and it's clear. It's very palpable. I'm talking as a journalist now. Aspiring journalist, palpable. There are a lot of people who are not happy with the situation.
Gotta get a picture of that.
And the government really needs to act now because not in 4 years' time. So basically, it just it's a third one. This is my first one, but it's really overwhelming and overpowering, I would say. And people are well organized.
But how does this compare? If you remember Brexit.
It's worth listening to. Honestly, we're lawyers. Trust us. Look, we're listening to you like hell. I can't hear you. Talk up.
Sorry, my friend. Cheers. We're back in.
Where's the young people? I can't see them.
Well, many young people here, everywhere, which is a good thing for a movement. Independently from which side of the argument you are, when young people are involved, it's a future,
Yeah, because otherwise, if you don't involve young people, because these are young people, we go like it's the future. So.
And do you know who I compare these young people with? If you remember when Extinction Rebellion shut this place down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm being honest.
Extinction Rebellion.
And they focused on there was like young people all over the place, and that is great.
The difference is a lot of people in Extinction Rebellion got arrested.
Hold on, this ain't spirit. What's God got to do with anything?
They got arrested, and these are people who actually got a business. They're talking about the future. So it's like, the government. And now I'm seeing more from the Indian activists trying to become more of a photographer at all. I say more like the government should. They've been in government for like 6 months, 7 months. They should actually pay attention because it's like a cancer. It's gonna have to become.
What my trainee. This young lady here is now going to kick me off the camera because she's the boss. She's the international correspondent.
Now I was the trainee, now the international correspondent.
What about?
But all I can say is you've trained her well.
Perfect. So you are a counsellor.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about the law side of all this inheritance tax insanity?
Well, councils are not law.
Yeah. Well,
2CTV, CP, whatever.
Yeah. Very brave lady. So. Top London reporter.
That's what it is. Because you've got a government saying someone's dead, we're going to raid their grave and take money away from people who are grieving. And that's why I find it the whole thing is so horrendous. It shouldn't be just farmers. I'm glad it's farmers. Let's get the farmers sorted first. But it's the rest of society as well. People have paid taxes on that throughout their lives. So it's important that why pay them on when you die as well. So you pay tax already, so it's tax on tax.
Yeah, but when you go back in history, you already had a problem with taxing too much. When you go back mostly 250 years, and you lost America with taxes of tea. So did you learn anything about taxing too much to your own people?
You're quite right. You can learn from history, and it's never good to tax people too much. I mean, there are times when you do need to raise some taxes to try and make society work. But in terms of actually raising too much tax, it goes too far. And when you let the bureaucracy run you, and you don't run the bureaucracy, that's when you run into trouble.
Yeah, but when you go back and you see where your tax money actually goes, it doesn't go to your communities or anything. It goes more into farmers all over the world, like in South America. And don't you think that's a little bit insane, taking money from local farmers to give it farmers thousands of miles away?
The whole system is insane. It's something that's gone and expanded over year after year after year, so that people haven't got a clue where their money goes. But they also are oblivious to it, because all they see is they don't even look at their wage slips anymore and see that their tax has been taken out. They get something.
Honestly, I'm listening. Can't you see I've got big ears to listen to what you got to say? Honestly, I've got big ears to listen to what you got to say. Trust me, I'm a liar. Trust me. I love you farmers like hell. I can't hear you, talk up.
Tell us a few lies.
I've got big ears and an ear trough and I still can't hear you. Trust me, I'm a liar. Trust me, I'm a liar. I've got big ears. I've got big ears.
Look that way.
I've got big ears. I've got big ears.
You ain't, are you?
Thanks, mate.
Makes the life even more harder in the UK, and then you have council taxes which are rising now. Then you have insane high energy prices in your country. So you're literally squeezing every little penny out of the people. So what do you think will happen if the Labour Party and the government is not stopping that?
Well, it's going to get worse. We've already explained all the problems. So, if you charge people more for fuel, that's a basic thing, and that impacts on food, impacts on farmers, impacts on a whole society. So, fuel security is important. But this government, and indeed the previous government to a certain extent, were completely mad on it. It's completely bonkers. We really do need to set people free. It means we've got to drill, we've got to get gas out of the ground. It seems mad to me, completely insane, that you import gas from other countries, and import fuel and electricity via cables from other countries when actually you could produce it all here at home. It's absolutely mad. I mean, it's just insanity. Really, it really is. I don't know what the definitions of insanity are, but that's pretty close to number one on the list.
Yeah, and then when you see that the government is trying to destroy the rural area with solar panels and all that stuff, and then they're trying to buy into, like you said, energy from other countries. So, what do you think should happen today in Poland?
Yeah, no worries.
Well, the first thing they should do is they should go back on this inheritance tax on the farmers. We need food security more than anything else. The farmers put food on our table, okay? And that food, people sometimes don't even realise how it gets there. That's so important. I just want to say one thing though about solar farms, because you mentioned it very quickly. And that is, in Bromley, we had one of these applications and we turned it down because we know it is not good. It's a farmland, and we said we're not having solar panels on our farmland. It's not right. It's not what the farm is for. It's there to produce food. So our farm is protected, but how much longer we as a council can protect that when you've got a government that is hell-bent on concreting over, putting solar panels all over perfectly viable farmland. You can grow food, you know, you can grow food for people. That is important.
Yeah, and then you have 5.5 million people who are not allowed to vote in your country anymore because someone just axed the local elections. So, do you think your country is moving more and more into a socialistic dictatorship kind of style?
Well, it is because people aren't allowed to speak out, and that's the problem. We're seeing a sort of suppression of freedom of speech, because if your speech doesn't agree with what they say, then they will come for you. And so I'm probably in charge today. Someone's probably looking at this and saying, right, we're going to get him, and that's what it's about. So yes, I am worried about that. I'm worried about the way that society is going. That actually, the answer to you know, if you've got troublesome speech, is more free speech, not less. Because if people can argue the ideas that are best will out. Ultimately, that's what it's about. It's about debate and arguments and such like.
Yeah, and then you had a very wise American who said that the people should not be afraid of government. The government should be afraid of their people. So, do you think that's right now should be very welcome in your country? This
yeah, listen, I applaud a lot of things going on in America. It's very, very good. The fact that they're actually saying we're going to expose where all those tax dollars are going. The fact that we uphold freedom of speech. The fact that we try and say people who are judges who are not doing what they should be doing and actually using lawfare rather than actually being sensible and using their judgment, that these people will be held to account. Because it's the same in this country. We've got judges that are not held to account because traditionally they were impartial. But that has you know, the institutions have fallen to some extent over the years.
Yeah, they are misused because when you see that there are people getting in jail for praying outside and other ones who can rape children over decades and nobody is actually doing something like what you had with the Pakistani grooming gangs. So there's a lot of things going wrong in your country right now, and I'm very sad about that. But we are. How many people are watching right now? 52,000.
Well, so, good for them.
Yeah. So, what is your message to those 52,000?
Support your farmers. Number one, support the farmers. Let's get rid of this horrible tax and set our farmers free. We set our farmers free. We set the rest of the country free.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Sir Keir Starmer.
So if you go round, sir, if you go round the back.
Can you come round this way?
Sorry, can I get back in there?
Yeah, go on. Let you in.
I'll look after you, man.
I can't hear you. Look, I'm deaf. I've got big ears and I can't hear you. So what would you like to say if I can hear you?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, why are you taxing those farmers?
We need farming. We need farmers to feed us. If we've got no farmers, we've got no food. They must realise what happened in the Second World War when the boats came over and were sunk by the Germans. Well, the government's seeking our farmers now.
You know that I'm German.
Sorry?
that I'm German.
It's all right, boys.
That's gone past, but we did suffer in the Second World War, unfortunately, and we were starved because we couldn't get the food over here. It's hard to hear you, you know, I'm a bit deaf, so you have to speak up.
Okay, so...
What?
No,
I've got big ears and no sense.
Yeah, that sounds true. So, with this protest today, what do you hope to succeed? What is the goal?
I hope the government wakes up and realises they made a big mistake, like they have with the pensioners. They've made a big mistake with their policies. They're not doing any of their manifesto. All they're doing is alienating the people. I'm trying to get together a march of the people to come together with the farmers to say we've had enough of this government already. We can't carry on where they keep on making us suffer and making our lives a misery and putting the cost of living up.
So do you think that Labour Party should resign and there should be general elections?
Yes, definitely, totally. I mean to say, we can't carry on this way. It's doom and gloom. They're spending and wasting our money. They're taking the money from the farmers and giving it to overseas. What in the God's name is the point in that?
Yeah, you're spending a lot of money somewhere where it shouldn't be going.
Well, the money shouldn't be going overseas. It should be coming here. It needs to be here. It needs to come here.
I think a bit quick here.
What? Oh, look, I'm having trouble hearing you. You know, I've got big ears and nothing else in the ear trumpet. I'm still having trouble. I don't listen to you farmers. I don't listen to you people.
Okay, so now speaking, what is your message to the people who are listening right now?
Support the farmers. Support a policy where the people come together to fight this government once and for all. Unite. What I'm saying is unite, please. Unite with the farmers. Unite people. Show that we've had enough. We're not going to take this claptrap anymore. Let's get this government out of control. Let's get this country back on its feet. Let's be Great Britain again, please. Let's be Great Britain. Let's support the farmers. Let's support life. Let's have a decent standard of living.
Thank you. Thank you.
Two a bit quick here. Get out of
I'll try and jump in there when they actually start. Not yet.
Finish my coffee. This woman, I didn't know she brought me.
Very good.
That's what happens with them.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to. I've actually missed a good shot. Be careful of these tripods, don't
The boys here, old DJ. I've got my charger back that he stole off of him. Yeah. I told him if you don't bring it back to me, I'm going to beat you up. He said, I'll bring it back, I promise.
I've got myself a big charger coming, so
yeah,
I want a massive one. So I just put myself on.
I will do it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who any of the speakers actually are. Or going to be. I do not know.
This whole inheritance tax is the iceberg of the problem. So, if you can send a message to the German people, what would that be?
We need to support farmers.
So, what is your family farm doing?
So I'm a dairy farmer from Cheshire, got around 500 cattle, and I'm here today to, obviously with the tax, I wouldn't be able to pay off the debt without selling farmland machinery, which would therefore wouldn't be profitable in the end for me to then carry on farming.
So it would literally bring you to sell the farm and do something different?
Yeah, I'd have to. But yeah, my family, I'm the 5th generation on my farm, but my family has been in the industry for over 400 years around Cheshire.
So it's literally the whole family. It's not only just that you're going to lose your income strain and your work. It's more even the emotional connection, what you have with the farming, because your whole family is doing that. If you can send a message to our audience right now to make them, they probably all understand or are begging the farmers, but there are still some people in the cities who don't really understand what it means to be a farmer, especially in the dairy section, because you have to sell your milk. You can't just say, okay, we're not selling for that low prices. So if you can send them a message, what would that be?
Just remember that farming isn't about profit. It's about it's all asset based. There's no profit in it. So we're just doing for the community. Really. Just think about how your food gets on your plate.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So those were some voices from young farmers, which is very important to understand that it's not only impacting all the farmers who are afraid of giving their farms away. Now it's also the younger generation who is literally afraid to even be able to do what they want to do since they are alive and growing up.
So, Vicky, just come here.
I come there.
Get that in the background. What's happening and why nothing is happening yet?
Go back up again, mate.
Go back a bit.
I don't know why nothing is happening. Why is nothing happening?
Huh?
Why is nothing happening?
I'm gonna call someone over. Call some. Excuse me, boss. Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me.
Hey, Vicky, you'll get used to me, man. This is me normal. Excuse me, sir, with a dry robe jacket.
Hi.
Just 1 second. Only 1 second, sir.
Do you know why we haven't started yet? Is there some issues going on, or just takes a while?
3:30.
3:30? Perfect. So what are you expecting for today?
What am I expecting? Well, can't you see down the map, down Whitehall?
Oh, I saw it. I was
Can't
there.
you see down Whitehall?
Yeah.
It's taken, look what it's taken to get the farming community into London. They're not listening to us at all. And yet we've got every single type of farmer, young, old, young farmers as well have all come in. And this is a message to the government. Surely they should start listening to us. Because we're being peaceful, we've driven our tractors into London, and we're just trying to put the message across peacefully to Mr. Starmer and the Chancellor.
Do you feel betrayed by the government right now?
Yes.
And what do you think about some of the mainstream media who try to frame those protests, so those peaceful protests, into a far-right thug?
Can you see? Sorry, can you just look? Can you see the far right? I can't. I can just see peaceful farmers trying to put their message across. To the man who stay and the Chancellor and our government. That's all we're trying to do.
Have become
get them to listen to what we're trying to say
from farming.
Thank you.
And it's seen largely as a hobby.
So what we see
now we are no longer in the CAP.
Okay, so we are hearing right now
more aggressive anti-farming policies than ever before.
Advertisement, they will start
and this latest government
3:30
are
at 3:30, and what we hear right now is that they want to make a stand and send the message directly to Downing Street, to Keir Starmer, that they feel betrayed and left alone. And
they assume
as
that we will
elected
always
government,
be able to import food,
you should have the
and that we don't need farming.
You should.
And it doesn't take much to work out that that is a very risky
decency,
strategy.
that's the word.
Britain
you should have decency to listen to your voters and start following their wishes, because they're only in office because they got voted in. And in my opinion, Labour will not be in the next government if they're not gonna change a lot in this country.
Excellent. What I'm going to do now,
we're on our knees.
I'm just going to conserve, because I want to go to the bathroom on Thursday.
Okay.
I don't.
So do I have to stop?
No. I'm still going to. Sometimes feels like I'm just going to take your microphone off.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
And I know there's a feeling.
So I'm taking this one off. I'll switch that one's off. That one's off.
Okay.
Communities are taking meals away. by people with little empathy for their challenges. That somehow politics is done to people, not with them. And I know this sentiment is especially strong.
I'll ring the boss to see if he's happy. The lady's coming back in a minute.
So let me start by acknowledging Labour's role in that. It's not deliberate. We do care deeply about the countryside. This is not the place.
Go and get him, go and get him, go and get him quick.
But make no mistake, they aren't going to get this. They aren't going to understand the chaos that they've caused and what the cost is. I don't think they can change themselves, and they won't change our country. They're part of the broken system that creates that feeling that we could respect the communities across Britain.
Hi everyone, I'm Leko from Pace is the small agricultural sector for over 200 years. And we understand the deep connection between your business success and ours. If our customers are under pressure, then so are we. That's why we're so passionate about standing shoulder to shoulder with all of our customers. We also feel that the change to heritage laws is morally wrong. This only serves to put more pressure not only on farmers, but on the whole rural economy, including us. That's why
I heard, and I'm from America, so it came a little bit over the pot. So, what you exposed a lot about grooming gangs, especially the Pakistani grooming gangs in your country. My question is right now, yesterday you had Ahmed Yaqub in the program, and he's literally close connected to grooming gangs in Telford. So, don't you think it could send a wrong message to the people and to the survivors, having him on the platform, even when you questioned him, or your colleague questioned him?
Yeah, it wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Yeah, I'm sorry for generalizing.
I know what you mean.
Because in America, I expose child sex trafficking at the Mexican border. I expose the Venezuelan cartels, and also got death threats for doing that. And I would not give them a platform.
I see what you mean. Yeah, look, as far as I'm concerned, obviously that wasn't my show, and anything to do with that. I personally think that one of the best ways to highlight some of these people is to expose them, and one of the best ways to do that is to interview them. Right? And so often they emerge like complete idiots, and they can't answer very, very basic questions, and their ideology, their worldview, and their attitudes towards things, certainly to whether it's women and girls, or whether it's to do with integration, or whether it's to do with multiculturalism, or whether it's to do with politics or religion or whatever, get exposed quite quickly by talking to them. And so for me, I would come down on the angle of, well, why not maybe interview them? I think there is a very fine line to be tread there, and you're absolutely right when it comes to offending victims, right, on survivors, and that's something that I would never want to be seen to be doing, and then they should always be the priority in any coverage anyway, as far as I'm concerned. So it's not always the easiest line to tread. I hope that 99% of the time I get it right and other people get it right, but you have to see, don't you?
So, and then what do you think after having them on your program? In September, Tommy Robinson gets out of prison. Wouldn't you think to have him also on your program as a counterpart, because he also helped with exposing what's
Well, look, I've always been very, very clear, certainly in the last 5 or 6 years, as I've kind of grown up a little bit and maybe had my eyes opened a bit by the realities of the situation, certainly when it comes to the Pakistani raid gangs that have been around Britain, in pretty much every single town and city. I've always said, certainly recently, about Tommy Robinson, that, okay, some people might think he's got a problematic past, fine, I think he might admit that, right? He was absolutely right about grooming gangs, absolutely right, and he was banging the drum for this in a way that very few other people were, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. And from my personal perspective, I will interview anyone. So I have no problem with interviewing him. So we'll have to wait and see what happens when Tommy Robinson comes out of prison.
And thank you so much for holding up freedom of speech very high in your country. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, bye. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. So that was one interview about Tommy and Ahmed Yaqub being on GB News. So you just can hope that Patrick Christie will keep his promise and interview Tommy Robinson. We have it on tape, so we can hold him account. And now we're going to see what's going on the farmers' protest.
And I hope the people watching behind the scenes was happy with that interview.
Yeah, me too.
So for those of you who are watching, we're just going to let you see the screen. We're going to let you look around because we need to have a quick break. I need to go to the bathroom. Sorry for telling you that. But we'll let you see what's going on. But within 10-15 minutes we'll be back. So this is we're going to leave you with this image for the next 10-15 minutes. But we will be back.
IHT won't affect us. We're not big and clever enough. The reason I'm here and I want to get my message across is because I love and care about British farming. Without it, our countryside will not, and our landscape will not look the same, and we will not be putting food on the table. We need to be understood, we need to be listened to, because without British farming, our countryside will be decimated and a whole industry will be gone.
David Camp, Baltimore, Chelsea, Kent. Martin Gardner, wine producer, wholesaler, I'm here for 52 years. I'm supporting the British Farming Rally here today because of my concerns about the future of our industry, the future of the national food security. I farmed for 50 years. And I've never known the industry to be in the dire straits that successive governments have now put us. And in the end, this last budget by the Labour Party is going to push many of us over the edge.
No, but
we need to produce enough food in this country for our own security.
Zoom a lot. It's just a live stream.
It's very important that we do so.
In HD, yeah.
Your support today hopefully will send a message to the politicians. They have to have a rethink about their current policies.
Nature had given Britain.
Make sure no one nicks that. I'm literally just going to the bathroom.
I want to interview people here as well.
I didn't know.
Specialisation in breeding as we know today.
I haven't seen him today yet.
150 years ago. The same kind of cattle had to do all kinds of jobs, give milk or meat, or even pull the farm carts, as they still do in this Gloucestershire farm, and in many parts of the continent. Today all this has changed. Here, for instance, are Ayrshire cattle. This is one of the breeds especially developed for heavy milk production. You will find these cows all over the world nowadays, but the best specimens still come from Ayrshire in Scotland. If you take a British local breed away from the soil on which it has been developed, within a few generations, its excellence diminishes. No one can explain it. No one can deny it. So breeders of Ayrshires all over the world must occasionally import Scottish animals to keep up the strength of their herd. Many judges of beef would argue that another famous breed, the Aberdeen Angus, is preeminent for the quality of the meat it produces. In the Smithfield shows, the quality and early maturity counts. This breed is always prominent.
Hi, thank you for having me on your interview. That's okay.
One of the earliest breeds to be developed, and one of the best known to the men in the street. This breed has made immense improvement possible in the cattle of South America, for it has a great power of standing its good qualities on other cattle and of producing economic feed. The dual-purpose breed providing both beef and milk.
The economy is thriving and everyone is very hopeful, and we look into a better future because we have now someone in government in the White House who has common sense, and I hope that will be in February in Germany too, when the Alternative for Germany will win the election. But I don't think they win because nowadays our elections are selections, so it's always been a little bit critical what goes on with elections.
Also, food nowadays is so important to eat good food. In the UK, we have some of the highest food standards, which is important to our overall well-being. At the moment, there's huge obesity crisis in the country.
He's a political prisoner, and Britain is in the 21st century, and shouldn't have any political prisoners, or Britain can just change the name into our own world rebellion tyranny. And you. What happened to Tom Robinson is unfair, unlawful, and should be stopped immediately. I was in Italy planning on visiting on the 4th of February, and I was not allowed because, oh my God, how dare I have an exchange.
I don't legislate about himself. I think everyone should have access to good just because he would give his
yeah, but he's a journalist. He's curious about it.
Supporting British farmers because I believe we have some of the highest food standards in the world, and we need food security in this country.
I'm a journalist. I have very sensitive data on my phone, and I don't want to get that out anymore. Yes, that's the first ethical rule for journalists to keep your sources safe.
I'm Rupert Phillips of R&CR Phillips in Kent. We are, I'm the founder of Friendly Farmers. We farm a few hundred acres, we're mainly grassland, and I am protesting against the budget, not just BPR, APR, but also national insurance, all of which affect us. I am an entry-level farmer who started with 0 assets, and to find out that once I've worked 7 days a week.
What the government wants, ignoring the needs of the country. That's why they try to destroy patriotism. That's why they open up the borders. So when you don't have when you don't have borders, you don't have a country. Yeah, you should shut the border very fast.
You know, where is that money going?
So the thing is, you have to. So I'm a migrant or immigrant in America. So I don't say that every immigration is wrong. Legal immigration should be okay, but you have to do it in a legal way. If you come illegally, and I saw over thousands illegal people coming through Utah, through Arizona, in Yuma, Arizona, at one day, and probably 70% were traffickers, cartel members, and drug smugglers. So yes, the hell you have to close your borders, but you can't just stop with all immigration. You have to make a vetted immigration system where you vet the people and they have to come legally.
Sometimes they don't like to be preached to by somebody. I think there's quite a lot of that going on.
The war at the border. Yeah, so since Trump is in office, 90% of border crossings were gone in 1 week.
95.
Now 95, so. Yep, build a freaking border around your island. A wall.
Yeah, I think she's out tomorrow.
Yeah, and I would wish that Europe would have a better border policy. Because with 2015, Merkel saying, "Oh, you're welcome, everyone can come," she created the whole downfall for Europe and UK. So we can all thank Mrs. Angela Merkel for that.
All our neighbouring packs it's difficult for everybody, so if we can all help each other out a bit, I think.
And most of the jobs we do have some connection.
So Germany didn't really close the borders. We still have a lot of problems with illegal immigration, but we can't call it illegal because
is repair and maintenance of the new mechanical implements used on the land.
Are you staying here?
Like most towns in Britain, you find the old and the picturesque that still serve to use, side by side with the new.
Well, 3:30, I think.
Food means a lot to the country towns.
Yeah, hour.
We spend our lives close to the best of it. And talking of food, fruit and vegetable canning is one of our industries. 40,000 cans a day from this factory. And a good deal of it is going to our men overseas.
I'd rather not
Then
cut it
there's
off
seeds,
the start again, but
sugar
I
beet,
don't know.
grass, cabbage, turnip.
You generally lose
All
quite a lot.
brought in from our fields to the warehouses at the end of the season. The land around us is rich and gives good crops, and there's always been a demand for the seeds. Before the war, we did a large export trade. Today, we're growing more and more food for ourselves. And these seeds of ours are producing good crops all over the country.
Farmer Caroline, West Sussex farmer, proud to produce the best British food and look after the countryside. Please look after our small and medium-sized farms. We are the fabric of the rural community. We want to work and thrive with our allied businesses. We want to bring on the next generation and employ the students and the apprentices so they're fit for purpose for the future. But our future doesn't look good. Please consult. Please look at the data. Please stop this terrible family tax.
Sorry I can't be with you today. Running out of time of year again, I need to go on holiday. The wife says it's holiday or a divorce, and I've got to know between two. On a serious note, 25 years time, year 2050, every single farm on the planet needs to reduce from 50%. This is exactly the time when we are preparing for the infrastructure and the policy in place to be able to beat it. This kind of infrastructure is absolutely worse. Now it's time to stand up, have our opinions heard, make sure that this government understands what is at stake and what the future holds for our British people's food security.
Hello, Matt!
Family farming from North Kent, farming partnership with our families.
Let's go down there now.
The family farm tax paid by the government is our farm business, and it will be the end of it's a little bit of worry. Yes, we'll sleepless nights.
That helicopter's bobbing around a bit up there.
Support farmers. The overwhelming message I've got is British farmers, British produced food. They don't want the land being bought up by big corporations.
Yeah, that chopper was making a few weird movements up there, wasn't it? I'm not sure if the live stream caught that.
Insisting that only 500 farms will be affected. But the recent data came out only yesterday that 3/4 of family farms are going to be affected. So I wish the government would take note of this new data.
It took me 4 days to find it.
And make some adjustments to the budget to protect the small family farms.
Yeah, it's doing some weird movements, that chopper is.
All the time.
Yeah,
is,
I was watching it.
Very insulting, to be honest.
Want to walk over?
I think it is time they
Want to
change
go
the
round?
tune,
Want to go round that, or not? Doing something weird, isn't it?
There is a compromise. And if the Prime Minister is listening, I'm meeting a few other farmers
Going up and down here.
on the 10th of February.
It's going like up and down over here.
Together. Actually, we'll be in his outside his house, so he's got no excuse not to come along and have a chat. That's what he's in the country, of course. Hopefully we'll see him.
It's over there now, isn't it? Somewhere over that way. It went across over there. The police one?
I moved from Leicestershire. My family has been farming for decades. I'm a 7th generation family farmer. First at pigs and now out in the crops. It would be really nice to continue that tradition and to build on the hard work that my parents and my grandparents have put in before.
I really want to send my support to all the farmers. I don't think the average person in the UK really appreciates how important they are to all of us. I just really hope people wake up and give the farmers 100% support. Before it's too late, it's too late. So, good luck guys.
I'm Andrew from Surrey, I work in IT. I support the farmers by stopping the family farm test. This is really important for every one of us. Farmers create food, and we need food in this country. We import far too much. We need good quality food.
It's our local voice.
Increasing this trend and making everyone, food for everyone of us.
Right, and we're absolutely all getting stuck by it, but it's just everyone, it's not just farming, it's to businesses. You can't put 25 billion tax on businesses. And you're obviously a very wealthy reporter. You look very wealthy. If I said to you I want 100 quid off you every day, would that affect your life?
Yes,
probably not at all, but it does us.
It would. Yeah. I'll take your point anyway. Good to meet you. All the best. Yeah, all the best. Good luck with everything.
Keep going on with your thing there, and it's very phallic. Finish it.
The British farmer today is also a mechanic, an engineer working on the lab. To his inborn knowledge of soil and climate, of crops and livestock, he has had to add, during the last 30 years, a knowledge of gears and carburetors, of sprockets and sparking plugs. Agricultural engineering began in Britain 200 years ago, and since that time, the output per farm labour unit has steadily risen until today it is higher than in any other European country. Even before the war, the value of the British farm worker's output was 3 times that of the German and twice that of the French, Belgian or Swiss worker. In recent years, Britain's home food production has reached new records, largely because of the close cooperation between the farmer, the agricultural engineer, and the makers of farm machinery. Increased speed is the essence of mechanized farming. One man with a machine can do as much as 4 or 5 men with horses in the same time. Greater speed of the machine and the fact that it can combine 2 or 3 operations in one means that the mechanized farmer is far less dependent upon the weather, and that's very important in Britain's changeable climate. This cut and lift machine, for instance, cuts grass and loads it onto a wagon in one operation. The filled wagon can then be taken straight to the dryer or silo. Finally, the machine never tires, and its greater power makes possible the farming of lands which could not formerly be cultivated. The first step in all farming operations is the tilling of the soil, and the first step in the mechanization of the land is the replacement of the horse by the tractor for drawing plows and cultivators. A 4-furrow tractor-drawn plough can plough up 8 acres a day. 8 times as much as used to be possible with the old horse-drawn single furrow plough. Then huge tractor-drawn harrows break up the soil with the speed and power of
Sorry.
When the seedbed is ready, great tractor-drawn drills.
Sorry, say it again. Preston.
And you know that's happening worldwide.
Is that a cracker then? Okay. Wow. Wow. Right.
Field adapted an old mold drainer to lay the pipes underground.
Well, it's been like that for a long time, mate.
600 feet at a time.
Oil into that one, isn't it, for a long time?
Another working farmer has invented this handy ditcher.
Well, the thing is, it's been leaking oil for a while in that one, so my thought is maybe part of the ring area was cracked and then it just worked its way across until it's gone, completely gone, like, you know.
Are you parked down here or there? Or?
We're up there.
As I say, all of a sudden one day it started to burn oil there, and then obviously now this has happened. So my view, it may have been a small little bit where the ring lands are, and then that over time has just obviously gone straight across, you know, with sort of the pressure maybe, but
where's the mad monk?
If it was running wrong, if it was running bad, it wouldn't have lasted long at all. It would have obviously done it a lot sooner. So, yeah, it wouldn't just keep lasting, especially with standard pistons in there, would it? I mean, they're not even forged. So, okay, mate. How bad's the war? Is it okay, or can you not see? Okay.
As a direct result of the close partnership between farmer, machine maker and agricultural engineer, British farming is today more highly organised, more efficient and more mechanised than ever before in its history.
You're going to take the crank out to do that, or are you just going to replace the piston end bearing?
Yes. Sorry,
yeah.
Our system.
Got you. Yeah.
And that breakdown, that misunderstanding between the two worlds.
Did you manage to get hold of any forged pistons?
In the most recent budget, most particularly the family farm tax. That tax hike has thrown family farmers under the bus and jeopardising our national food security, one of the most basic jobs of the government to get right. And despite repeated pleas from the rural communities, the Treasury to see sense, to get everybody around the table to find a way forward out of the mess, the Treasury has been
if you think that'll be okay, then
refusing to accept that it's so thin that it's
alright, cool.
This isn't healthy.
Alright, mate, I'll catch up with you later. Sorry.
It certainly doesn't help the rest of the country.
Yeah, I'll call you later. Alright.
To those who have stood in solidarity with our farmers, huge swathes of the political opposition, the British media, and most importantly, the great British public. Farmers, we are with you, we will continue to stand by you and fight for you. Rachel Reeves, the Treasury, the government, Prime Minister, it's time to see sense. It's time to stop the family farm tax before it's too late.
We need to show we're listening to the distinctive concerns of rural communities. Now, I want to thank you for your openness in always not only listening to Labour's case, but rightly challenging us when we get things wrong. The best decisions, in my experience, are the ones that are held up to the right light and survive scrutiny, and the worst decisions are the ones that have never been challenged. And let me assure this room, that openness will be reciprocated by my government if we win the election next year. Your input costs, energy, fertiliser, feed, gone through the roof. But the market pressure, the social pressure, which comes with rising food prices, that still remains. You don't need me to tell you all about that. That every day seems to bring a new existential risk to British farming. From bovine TV to avian flu and dramatic changes to our climate. All that losing a farm is not like losing any other business. It can't come back.
I think that agriculture, as part of the food industry, is in something of a mess policy-wise at the moment. We had a clear policy when we were in the EU, whether you liked it or not. There was a thing called a common agricultural policy, and farmers knew where they were with it. When we left Europe, we had no plan whatsoever. And we have spent the last 6 years trying to work out what on earth we want to do with agriculture.
If I ever went to prison, make sure I've got a cleaning job and a serving worker, yeah?
And the Brexiteers, that is, the people who wanted us to leave Europe and thought a bit about it, they believed that having left Europe, we would do a trade deal with America and a number of other large agricultural producing nations, and as a result of that we would import a lot more of our food at lower prices. And the big pro quo, of course, was that we therefore needed to emphasise the agricultural industry here. And we've never really got out of that mindset.
Yeah, the weather's not great here now. Not great.
You'll get a few sentences.
Cold, wet, windy. And now it's starting to rain. But you recognise most of these police here from last time. Chopper going over there.
We also understand that we have to be moving towards net zero. Put it to you.
Thank you, Moore.
On the government website.
Yeah, it is pretty cold. Actually, there's the other chopper. There's coffee. Ah, man. You gonna get that?
Production policy for agriculture. It's time we stop thinking of agriculture as an industry on its own. We have to recognise that it is part of this 50 billion food products industry we have in this country. The manufacturers of food products is processed. Food manufacturers can't exist without agricultural products. And can't exist without food manufacturers. The two are one, really. It's as though we have separated the people who produce cars from the people who produce engines or batteries. We see all those parts of the same industry. We realise that we all have to be singing from the same hymn sheet. We realise that if we have a policy for car producers, it also applies to the people who produce the engines, etc. What we have to do is to have a new mindset in government and in industry where we say our future lies in producing food products that people here and indeed across the world would like to buy. British agriculture has an enormously positive reputation. And around the world, Europe now spreading the Asia and places like that, we have literally billions of middle-class consumers who want to produce products that not only taste good, not only are different and varied, but also, and this is the important point, contain credence attributes. Middle-class consumers increasingly want to make sure that their food is produced ethically. What do I mean by that? It is produced safely. It is good quality. The animals involved have high standards of welfare. The farming practices are sustainable. They're not damaging the environment. And what we know about these so-called credence attributes is that they largely occur at the farm level in the supply chain. Hence, if we really want to motivate the food industry in this country, food production industry in this country, what we need is much closer collaboration between farmers and food manufacturers.
So you're now like
absolutely nothing about this really from the government. Of course you can find the odd sentence, you know, that people working together and all the rest of it. They've said that for 40 years. The reality is that as far as the government's concerned, agricultural policy was in one box, food manufacturers in another, and they don't really seem very concerned to get the two working very closely together. If only they could raise their eyes and see how working together we could move this industry forward, not only to producing more food, but in doing so to make sure that we deal with the food security problem in this country, we keep food affordable, and moreover, we contribute meaningfully to the government's desire for economic growth and a better trade balance. This is a very large industry, the so-called agri-food industry. Put it together, give it the right policies, and my goodness me, the country will be better off as a result.
The success of the supermarkets in Britain has ensured that the people and our governments have become disconnected from farming, and it's seen largely as a hobby. Now we are no longer in the CAP. We have more aggressive anti-farming policies than ever before. And this latest government are intensifying that aggressive assault on our industry and this country's food and food security. They assume that we will always be able to import food and that we don't need farming. And it doesn't take much to work out that that is a very risky strategy. Britain needs food security. Food security is national security.
Oliver Field, Farmer, West Sussex.
News Now York has gone to get the coffee.
Scrap the IHT.
Sorry, and the tea.
No trade deal in America. Let's get back into the This is vital. My business alone lost £60,000 overnight.
He'll probably put the money in. I'm not
sick and tired of farming being taken hit after hit after hit. We're on our knees. Enough. The government's going to stand up for us.
No, literally, I'm not too bad. I have been out in Barcelona than this at protest.
Sometimes feels like farmers.
I'm not too bad, I'm alright. What's Saturday?
National, Fireside National here.
What, here?
Well, they're starting here at 12.
Probably
marching to US Embassy.
I've got too much, like,
and then
normal content to do.
The head steward's court case at Westminster Mags.
Is it?
Yeah, their protest outside the court.
Probably not.
I'll be at both of them. And then
you're everyone.
But then it's Risk Cottage on Friday evening.
For what?
Palestine.
Right.
Weekly one.
I need to go out and get normal content. So probably not.
I just started back up my audit channel.
No.
I just restarted my audit channel. I can go and keep both of this and the audit separate.
Oh, okay. Why not?
I can't keep it.
Oh, we've got some more interviews going. Yeah, I'm going to come back.
Part of the broken system that creates the feeling.
I picked up because all my family, I have got 4 children, all grown up. I've got 10 grandchildren. Some of them live in Australia, the others are here, right? They've got their own properties, all got jobs, all worked, and that's what something I've been bred into them. And to me, that's part of the reform. I mean, a lot of people might not agree with me, but this is just my point of view.
So you would say that Labour are essentially jealous of the farmers? Is that what you're saying, or are you saying that there are people in society who are jealous of them?
Well, I mean, see, because the politicians, or the Labour Party or the Tory Party, have bankrupted the nation, they're looking to steal money off of business people and workers. And the farmers are business people and they're workers. This is what's keeping the country alive. Because if you start importing food all the time, we import far too much, right? Mainly because we was never naturally self-supporting. We never had enough natural resources. So that's why, you know, you've got to buy from abroad. But what you can manufacture yourself, you manufacture yourself. I mean, we used to have an abundance of coal. I think we've still got it. But suddenly coal, fossil fuels, it's not popular anymore, right? So now we go over to diesel oil and fuel, and we're told that's not popular anymore because you've got poor atmosphere. Well, we've got one particular person, I won't mention his name, but he was totally against people driving their motor cars, totally against a lot of other things because you've got poor air quality. We haven't had poor air quality in the United Kingdom since the 1950s and 60s, when it was poor air quality. Since then, all the businesses with all the chimneys pumping out all the smoke doesn't exist, right? We don't have coal fires anymore. Everything has got a lot cleaner. But of course, you've got certain forms of politicians, right, who all they want to do is rip off the general public, rip people off. So they're saying you can't have this, you can't have that, you've got to sell this, you've got to sell. But they themselves ride around in bulletproof vehicles doing about 5 miles to the gallon. But you and I, no, we're not to do that. You've got to go, now, you've got to go on public transport. Now, you've got to have public transport. You can't do without it, right? But public transport is not as good as you owning your own means of transport. Your own means of transport, you can go anywhere, at any time, with who you wish to travel with, in peace and comfort. Public transport won't give you that. These modern buses now, I tell you, compared to the old ones, they're so uncomfortable. There's one type of bus now I'm not particularly told, right? But when I go to get in the back,
I will see you. Behind you.
How's the training going?
With the due south over the low side school to the south bank beyond.
Oh right, he's got it planned.
Wild man.
Yeah.
You drive?
In Walmart.
1, 2, yeah.
This is an important announcement. Whoever is flying the drone, please can you bring it down? The police do not allow drones. Please can the drone be brought back to us?
We're hoping you're going to go. Someone's drone is up. Who's got the drone up? Not me. Not me.
Yeah, the helicopter. It's cold here.
Get that drone out of the sky. Who's got the drone up? DJ Audits, is that you, mate? Someone? No, but it's raining as well. It's not exactly the most safest weather for flying, is it? Hey? Wow. This much rain, it's probably not going to be good for the drone.
In this train. I've flown it in the snow, fine. But not in the rain, not really. Fine. Yeah, DJ Audits, mate, is that you? He said it's industrial site next door, so that's his reason for doing it. Did you see it, no? Yeah. Can't fly here. Well, you can, but it's difficult to fly here. Nat's approval. Oh, for sure. If you fly here without, yeah, 100%. 100%. If you fly here without telling them, like, they will try and find who you are. Did they? Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I can't fly here. It's, there you go, Hyde Park. EGR 157, the no-fly zone here. It's a kind of zone that if you do fly, they will come and find you.
Jesus Christ. And then this is our Christ.
Yeah, it's probably a police drone.
Is that your drone?
No, it's probably old Bill.
I don't think so.
Today's about the farm. Oh, it could be Clarkson.
It's all linked in. Well, it's all linked. We're evangelists, and I got to preach the Lord Jesus Christ. But the Bible talks about the mark of the beast system, and if you know anything about Agenda 2030. Agenda 2030 is a global agenda to destroy farmers, destroy the middle class, to move everything to artificial intelligence, and you know, we see the beginnings of a mark of the beast system coming, and so as evangelists we're connected.
Theory.
Look around. Look around.
Are you being serious?
So okay, you call it a conspiracy. Agenda 2030 is not something. It's not something I've cooked up. If you go onto the UN's website, the Sustainable Development Goals, they themselves on their official website told, and you can look into everything they've plotted for Agenda 2030. So how can you call it a conspiracy theory when on their own website they plotted out, call it an agenda, and give immense detail to everything that we see happening in the world today?
I didn't outline one policy that is affecting us here today.
That they want, they don't want generational farmers. They don't want a middle class. They don't want people to own land. Bill Gates is one of the biggest owners of farmland in America. He had a private meeting with the Prime Minister over a month ago. You know, the World Economic Forum's talked about seeking protein sources from lab-grown meat and insects rather than cows, which they've created Bovia, which is a chemical to stop them from farting. So that's all an attack on the farmers, to move people over to plant-based and lab-grown meats and to destroy the farmers. That's one policy.
Just imagine Sakir is watching now. Yeah, he's in his boudoir, just behind you in number 10. Look into the camera, talk directly to Sakir Starmer. And also at the moment, we got 86.3 thousand people watching. So talk to Keir and talk to them. What do you want to say?
Well, I believe he's a tear. I believe that he's rolling out Satan's agenda, and he really needs to repent and come to Christ, because the Bible says that if you're not in Jesus Christ and believe in him for salvation, then your eternity is a lake of fire. And that goes for every one of us that is born on the earth has a responsibility to accept that God is Christ and Christ is God, and to follow the way that God's commanded us to live.
But if you remember,
I have to rely on Aldi or, you know, wherever. Be like, but we need to get back to basics. That's what it is. I don't care about things anymore. Yeah. You know, I just don't care about stuff. I just want manners, kindness,
well, back to the basics.
Respect. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Your stuff's getting very wet, mate.
Thank you very much, sir. And I'd like to find
Is it all waterproof or not?
We're not currently on the mission. We're currently...
Mic check for VT, mic check for VT. Testing 1, 2.
We have the highest food standards in the world. And we need food security in this country.
How many people are watching now?
Family farms need protecting.
87.4K.
This government seems intent on killing off agriculture.
God bless
So
you. Thank you for the
stand united and stand up.
2, 1, 2. Yep.
I'm Rupert Phillips of R&C Phillips in Kent. I'm the founder of Friendly Farmers.
1, 2. Yep.
Farm a few
getting busier, guys.
With mainly grassland, and I am
hungry. You've been here since 8 o'clock.
Against the budget.
That's why.
Not just BPR, APR, but also national insurance.
Why can't you go to where Mike's gone and grab?
I am an entry-level farmer who started from 0 assets, and to find out
and why do you think, that your livelihood has been put at risk by the budget?
Oh, you were coughing. Did you sort it out?
Give me specifics.
Okay. Everything on the farm is being taxed. Our land is being taxed. Our tractors are being taxed. Our machinery, our buildings, our farmhouses, our farmers' cottages, everything is being taxed. We've never had this before, and this is a very, very serious situation. Pass our farms on to the next generation at present. The situation is very serious. I've never been on a demonstration like this before.
It's the first time?
Sandy.
But it's the first time you've been on a demonstration?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the first time in 21 years you've been on a demonstration. But Sandy, you know, one thing I'm really pleased to see out here in the streets today is that there are so many young people, and they're the next generation.
That's the next generation, exactly right. They're the youngsters. I've got Dom, it's Dominic.
Come forward, Dominic. Dominic and Sandy.
He's my co-worker, Dominic Chandler. He started with us when he was 18. He's working his way up with the farm, and he's trying to build up his career in the farm business.
I'm gonna put you on. I'm getting you scared now. Does he pay good wages? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. So what type of farm?
Arable. We grow wheat, barley, beans, that sort of thing. We're combinable crops, it's called. We don't have livestock, but we are really, really struggling with this latest budget. Every single thing is being attacked, and we just want to say, be fair with us. We pay our taxes, and we want to be able to just carry on with our business and make food for the nation.
So that's great. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to pass to this gentleman in a minute. So just you, sir.
Yeah.
You are still in training. So you know, what is it like for you to be in training on a farm, knowing that all of these taxes are coming?
Well, it's scary because I don't know if I will still, once I've done my training, if anything does happen, if I've got somewhere to go to work and actually do everything I've learned. I've spent 2 years at college and 2 years on a farm now, still learning what to do, and it's just kind of scary to be able to actually put what I've learned into progress.
All right then, sir, all I can say, thank you very much. And I've got to pass to this young lady, and she's going to be interviewing a few people. But I've got to switch over the sound. So if you just give me a few seconds.
What is the name? Right, let's make our way back. I don't know where that
Ask him.
Got a nice coffee.
I'm the full.
Just remind us how to pronounce your name, sir.
Correct.
Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
music after us.
Give me 2 seconds, Greg. I'll switch everything off.
We want to work and thrive with our allied businesses. We want to bring in next generation.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
I'll switch it over.
So they're fit for purpose for the future. But our future doesn't.
Well, the rain is coming down
Please consult. Please
here in London.
Please stop this terrible family farm tax.
So say something.
Hello, I'm Greg Smith, MP for Mid Buckingham.
Beautiful. So, yeah, got you. So, all over to you, my darling.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Are you paying attention, people? Well, I am so excited to announce Nick and his dad. And they are going to play you a fantastic song, which is I Want to Be a Farmer. Like my dad. And we want you to join in, start dancing because it's getting jolly cold, and enjoy this, and then we're going to give you some speeches. So let's get into the groove, guys.
How we doing? I wrote this song for my kids, and it's relevant to pretty much everybody here, I think. So as soon as the sound guys are ready. Simple. All we want to do is farm. Take our land away for whatever reason, we can't. No land, no food.
I want to be a farmer, like my dad. But his farmer wants to take our land. The government will crumble, but the damage will be done. You gotta get burned when you fly too close to the sun. Back off, Starmer. Back off, Starmer. Back off, Starmer. I wanna be a farmer.
Thank you. For those who don't know me, I'm Nick. You can find me on YouTube, Nick's Farm. This is my dad as well. Do you want to say a couple of words, Dad, before we get the speakers on? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dad. Well, what a turnout. I've never seen so many tractors. Everyone, so even as old Fenn's got here, but I'm surprised. Anyway, thanks Nick, and what a great song. I'm proud of him, mate. Really good. Well, we're all here, and just down the road, they're going to be debating today, I think, isn't it? 145,000?
More, I think.
More. That's right. So it's in their hands. I don't hold out much hope, but what we've got to do is keep persevering. We mustn't stop. If one thing farmers are, they're resilient. Always have been. It's a tough job there. We don't ask for much. All we want to do is keep our land intact. It's not much to ask, not when you think about it. Low returns, poor weather, hard work. That's what we're faced with. We don't mind that. In fact, that's what we do. We're used to it. But put that other complication there. If we're worrying about tax when we hand it down to our children, we're not selling out. If we sold out, there'd be capital tax to pay. We don't mind that. All we want to do is pass not only the farm down to our children, but our knowledge. It's so important, and I know you're all with me here. I'm proud of this country. I'm proud of what we do, what we've achieved, and I'm particularly proud of the farming community. They're a resilient lot. There are other groups out there that are equally as resilient, and they deserve credit too. But us farmers, we surely have the ability to feed you if we're allowed to, and that's debatable. Do they want us to be more for the environment or more for food production? Nobody knows. We're in limbo land. Pardon? Bill Gates? Well, yeah, you could probably help. I think, yeah. Anyway, look, I'm going to get off now. I might have a few words later on. So who's on next then, Nick?
Right, we're going to start speeches now, so there's some other people to speak as well. We've got Tom Bradshaw from the NFU. He's going to come up first, if he doesn't mind coming up now. Are you ready, Tom? Oh, no, sorry, Liz is going to come up again. Sorry, we've completely taken over. I do apologise.
Nothing ever goes according to plan. Well, I just want to say a few words from the team at Save British Farming. There are a number of us, and we have all worked very intensively to get this off the ground. And so, first of all, I want to say thank you to the team, and there's many of them. You're all out here, all of you together, because you brought your tractors here, and you're part of the Save British Farming team today. And please give yourself a big round of applause. We've brought tractors to London several times, and every time we've come back, we've got bigger, and we've got louder, and we're not going to go away. And we must be determined that this is a marathon, not a sprint. We are probably not going to get a quick result from Mr. Starmer or Mrs. Reeves because they are dug in. But we understand about resilience and the need for resilience. But we are winning. We're winning the argument. We're in the press and the media every day, and more people are understanding what we need to say to them about their food. So what I want to say to you is stay positive, stay united, stay connected. Come on board. We will keep doing this. And you know what? It's jolly good fun. Everyone has a great day out. We even do some singing. But thank you. And I really do want to say a heartfelt thanks to my team. They know who they are. I might drag them onto stage if I can later. But we've had some fraught moments, but we've also had some good moments. And I'm sure we'll be having a few beers later. And now I'm delighted to welcome Tom Bradshaw, President of the National Farmers Union, and enjoy the speeches, guys. Oh, and one more housekeeping thing. When you go home, you have to turn left at the end of Whitehall and either go onto the embankment or over Westminster Bridge. The police have been absolutely amazing. In fact, can we give the police a round of applause? And one more thing, to show that we are quintessentially great British people, please make sure you pick up your rubbish, don't leave any rubbish. And behave yourselves, and let's be proud. I'm proud of you guys, thank you so much. I love you all.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much, Liz. I think it would be appropriate to have 3 cheers for Safe British Farming and Liz Webster. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Now here we go again. When we first came to Westminster on the 19th of November, I don't think the government knew what they'd hit them. You came again with your tractors in December, and we're here again today. The message is getting louder. The message is getting clearer. I just hope that the ears are listening, because at the moment they're really not acting. This is the purest form of democracy. A loud and clear demonstration, a legal protest. And I urge all of you to make sure that when you leave here, you do exactly as Liz said. We should never forget how lucky we are in this country to have a democracy. Many people around the world would give their right arm to have a democracy like we do. Those farmers in the Ukraine don't have this moment of opportunity. So let's use our voices. Let's make sure we stand loud and proud, and we make sure that those politicians hear every word that comes from here today. We have a voice, a loud voice, and I think the government are very clear they've woken a sleeping giant. We have to keep the pressure up, and that's what you're all doing here today. And if the government thinks we'll go away, they don't understand you, they don't understand farming, and they don't understand farmers. As Liz has already said, we fight the elements, we fight the markets. All we want is to earn a fair crust from the food we're producing. The challenges are very real. We're not against paying the tax. We'd prefer to pay the tax from the food we produce rather than a death tax, which is simply unaffordable and unacceptable. The sense of betrayal in the industry is one that I've never, ever known. A policy that we were promised would not be introduced. A policy that doesn't do what the government says it does. The Office for Budget Responsibility agree with us. The supermarkets on this occasion agree with us. Even the Observer agrees with us. If the Chancellor is so confident her policy is right, why won't she meet with us to justify the policy? Even the Prime Minister has met. I was able to look him directly in the eye and spell out the awful, inhumane, unacceptable impacts of this policy. Why won't the Chancellor meet? For her, the family farm tax is policy. But for me and for you, it's personal. This week is Yellow Wellies Mind Your Head Week. We all know the untold pressure this is having on our farmers and our farming communities across the country. Can I urge you one more time, on your way home from London when you're back on your farms tomorrow, pick up that phone to a neighbour that you haven't spoken to for a while, or somebody that you haven't seen. We can't let people suffer in silence. We must be there for each other. As President of the National Farmers Union, representing 70% of English and Welsh farming, I've received hundreds of emails, messages about the impacts of this tax. The human impact of this policy is simply unacceptable. It's also economically unacceptable. Economist after economist has turned against the policy. And let's be very clear here today, 75% of farmers producing this country's food will be impacted by the proposed changes to inheritance tax. That's 75% of businesses that will no longer invest for our future. that won't build the resilience that delivers food security. And when the government are sitting there saying that food security is national security, they're sitting there saying they need economic growth, and they're doing everything they can to stop you investing in the future of your businesses. That is simply wrong. They say the policy is well considered, but how can it be well considered when it has that economic impact, the human impact, and the pressure it puts on the farming community? It undermines food security at a time of global insecurity, and it is wrong on so many levels. I've been in Parliament this morning with Labour MPs. We'll be back in Parliament this afternoon seeing more MPs. We've met over 400 MPs since the 30th of October. The pressure out here creates the pressure in there that we all need to work together. And we should celebrate a united industry standing here, putting our best foot forward to try and get the changes that we need and to try and get the voices of farming heard. We've had over 145,000 members of the public sign the official petition. Over 275,000 members of the public signed the NFU petition. Public support and a united industry is what will put the pressure on our politicians. And we must think about that as we decide on the next steps that anybody is planning on taking as we continue to build the pressure through this campaign. We must keep the public on side at every step that we take. We cannot and we will not take their support for granted, and it's absolutely essential that every one of us here takes that responsibility seriously. Whether you're an NFU member or not, every meeting we go into, every meeting I go into, stood here with the presidents of Ulster, Scotland and Wales, we carry your weight on our shoulders. We take you into those rooms with us, and we will fight every day until we get the outcome that we need that mitigates the disastrous impact of the proposals that we've seen in the budget. And we recognise that the challenges go far wider than inheritance tax. But the one change that Sir Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves can make today that make this better is to consult or stop the proposals around inheritance tax. And we will continue to fight that until they finally listen. Thank you very much for your support. We'll continue to fight on your behalf. Thank you.
Come, another round of applause for Tom Bradshaw from the NFU. So we've got a great lineup of guest speakers today. If he's ready, I want to introduce our next guest. It's the one and only Gareth Wyn Jones.
Blanda, we love you too. Believe it or not, he's tall, Tom. I came in this morning for the third time, and let me tell you, I do not want to be in London. And it is an amazing, amazing turnout. All the tractors and everybody that's turned up to teach these fools a lesson on how important food is. But I'm going to give you 2 minutes of my time and 2 minutes of this wonderful lady that I met this morning who's going to tell you her story. This is Caroline Martin.
So my story is not much different to most of yours out there. I married a 5th generation farmer. I'm a farmer's daughter myself, originally from Devon. I live in Surrey now on an average sized arable farm. My husband passed away 18 months ago, and since then he enabled me to carry on the farm, which I am doing. So, Mr. Starmer and Rachel Reeves, this is not a make-believe story, this is real. I've got 2 daughters. I am going to continue to carry on my farm as well as I can with the great support I have around me. I would like to leave the farm for my daughters at least to have the choice to continue to farm it. If this ruling goes in, there is no question that my daughters will have to sell a big part of the farm in order to pay the inheritance tax. And I know that my late husband did not farm his farm before him and before his parents, his great-grandparents were farmers. He didn't do all of that to give it to you. And we should not be supporting the loss of all that independence. We don't just farm, we enable the public to engage with us. We have a farm that is crisscrossed by footpaths. I welcome footpath users, but the government don't support us in any of that. So I'm here just to say that this story's real, and if the government are allowed to continue on this route, there will be no 6th generation farming in my family. It's as simple as that.
Your hands together. Thank you, Caroline. Now this is what makes me angry, and there is farmers, mothers, grandfathers in this audience that are in exactly the same position as Caroline. We are here to fight for an industry that deserves a voice. These people need to listen. Listen to the people that are feeding them every single day. I went to the Churchill Museum yesterday. I'm sure Mr. Churchill is turning in his grave. They dug for victory. They protected the farmers that kept these cities fed. They've forgotten what we do for them. And we will not back down. We are strong. And we will keep going, believe me, till the last breath in my body. My father's 88, and he hasn't worked all his life the same as mine to give it away to other countries so they can produce food, to bring it back into this country, to challenge us. Millions are sent abroad. Millions. Charity starts at home. And we need to get the message over to government that they need to protect the countryside and the people that are producing food before this country goes hungry. Let's build a better Britain on our bellies. Let's have a farming food revolution. I'm proud to be one small part of this massive, massive cog we are. We hunt, we shoot, we fish, we farm, we produce food. Let's have some respect. Let's have these people listening to what we have to say before it's too late. Diolch yn fawr iawn, thank you very much. Keep up that fight.
Come on, another round of applause for Gareth there. I don't think I've seen so many tractors in one place, so fair play to every single one of you who's brought a tractor down today. Absolutely fantastic, so give yourselves a round of applause. Our next speaker is a food poverty campaigner. Please give it up for Dominic Waters.
Okay. Hey, can you hear me? Yeah! Okay, so I scribbled down some notes, and I was kind of like, I was nervous coming here because, like, in no way am I a farmer. Like, in fact, I don't even have a garden. So, yeah, I'm a single dad for my amazing daughter, and we live in the most deprived blocks on our council estate. And here, where we live, our access to fresh food is completely overlooked. And the shop on the estate that we live on, it sells nothing fresh. I scribbled some notes, I'm going to try and use them. But yeah, so the fact that there's nothing fresh in our estate, one, it impacts our community, but also this makes it a food desert in the Garden of England. And a couple of weeks ago, I was asked to like speak on a panel for the Oxford Farming conference, which is the first time I've ever spoke to farmers, and the panel was focused on how food connects people. But I chose to speak about how food can disconnect people. So at the posh dinner, that was the night before I spoke, I didn't know what knife or fork to use or spoon, and the starter looked more like a dessert to me. And these are just small things, but actually they speak to the distance that we experience between class, culture, and social possibilities. And in this way, food is way more than just what you eat. Recently, or last week, I designed the 4 pillars of food insecurity, which is like a reimagining of the United Nations 4 pillars of security, because we don't experience security in my estate. So I reimagined that. And really the four pillars are a reflection of a disproportionate expectation of resilience in my council estate. And these 4 pictures that symbolize a deep divide between the experiences of the poor and the powerful. And I should say that, the minister, as I said to Ollie and Liz, the Minister for Food Security, Daniel, shout you out, he quoted my 4 pillars or 4 pictures in the House of Commons last week. But it really shows you that where we come from isn't a herd community. And what I go through to put fresh, hot food, as we're on pay-as-you-go gas and electric, on my daughter's table is a lot different than, say, what Keir Starmer goes through to put hot, fresh food on his children's table. So I'm here today, thank you. So I'm here today, and I'm grateful to be here, but I'm here today kind of what am I asking? So I don't know, I started a GoFundMe also last week, and in a week we got to nearly £1,000. But I think that our share, and this is exclusive, I have a little following, but this is exclusive. I want to take over, not take over, that sounds too dramatic, but I want to raise enough funds to lease the shop in my council estate for a couple of years and reach out to my now farmer people to kind of bring in the fresh meat, chicken and vegetables. Because then that would actually make you guys, with collaboration with me, someone actually from there would make a real difference in a really, really unheard, disadvantaged community, be able to flourish. Thank you. I want to say with your guys input, with the University of Southampton School of Geography, with their expertise that are guiding me, I think it can happen. And I'm speaking from a place of hope, from a place of being forgotten, speaking of a place of trying to speak up for my neighbours. But thank you to Ollie, thank you to Save British Farming, and God bless you all. Dominic Russell, please.
Come on, another big round of applause for Dominic. It's not easy coming up here, speaking. I know myself, I'm shivering a little bit. A lot of eyes on everybody. Next up, we have Ollie Fletcher. You might know him from YouTube, historian farmer. Take it away, Ollie.
Hello. I just want to make it really clear how much we appreciate people like Dominic being here, because we are here as a community, but also as a minority, and I think it is so important that we create links with other people who have the same interests we do. Growing up, I live on a small dairy farm, or he's here now, that's so beautiful. There is, but this is why we do what we do. When I was growing up, we milked 100 cows, quite often with no money at all. I hope my mother won't mind me saying this, but the carpet we had in our kitchen, she pulled out of a skip and then cut to size with a little scalpel knife, right? We were skint, but the reason that we put up with that was because we believed that what we are doing was of great social utility to people like Dominic. So it is imperative that we create links between ourselves and them. You clap if you like. The point I want to make today is a very simple one, which is that I do not believe that what the Labour Party are doing at the minute is aligned with their own principles. The agricultural transition is wrong. The Labour Party gave us the cheap food policy after the war that helped us as workers own the means of production, which sounds frightfully left-wing, but as well as that, it ensured cheap, nutritious food for the urban working class, and we believe in that, which is why we stick up and keep working despite all of the stuff we have to deal with. That is the post-war settlement, and now we are here fighting against the very party that gave us those things, because the Labour Party have forgotten what left-wing agrarian policies look like. So I would like to invite the Labour Party politely to come to the table to talk to us. We understand our land and our animals and our machines. We understand our industry, and we know what is in the national interest, and that is to save British farming. So when you all go home, do not give up the fight. Hold on, keep working. I know it's a struggle, but we can win this. We know that we are right, and what the government are doing now is unsustainable. Climate change, if there is not a war, means that we will need to produce our own food. If they destroy us, they will learn the hard way, as they did in the First World War, as they did in the Second World War, that they need us. Thank you.
Another big round of applause for Ollie there. I don't know why they've got me doing this, but the next speaker, please give it up for Gavin Lane from CLA.
Can you hear me? Thank you. And thank you all for coming. I was walking down here a few minutes ago and I was reminded, as Ollie said, about history. You probably remember that a long time ago they used to tax windows. And I was just looking around here thinking actually you could make a few bob out of a window tax and maybe leave us lot alone. But what I was going to say is that the government told us, first of all, they weren't going to change APR. They came to our conference, they said they weren't going to do it. Then they told us that we weren't telling the truth about the figures, and we proved that we were. And now they believe that we are not going away. And I can guarantee to you, and I can see you here, we're going to keep on coming back, we're going to keep on making a noise, and we're going to get this changed, because that's what we've got to do. This isn't about the money, necessarily. We are all here because we want to protect our assets. This is not personal wealth, these are business assets that they want to tax. We want to provide clean water, good food, we want to provide for the environment, we want to go and do all the things they want us to do. But we can't do this with this tax hanging over all of our businesses. And so we will keep on fighting and we will get this changed. Thank you.
Down a bit, innit? Down a bit.
Okay, our next speaker is Tim Chambers. He's a fruit farmer from Kent. Please take it away, Tim, if you use this microphone here.
Welcome to London, everybody. I'm a fruit farmer from Kent. Been farming in the same village for about 400 years. People say we should get out more, but it's quite nice where we are. It's lovely to see so many people here today. It's my birthday, in fact. And I know I'm only 21, but it's a highlight. I put an advert out on Facebook, but I didn't expect you all to come. I really didn't think I was that popular. But anyway, seriously, it's great to be here, but it's exhilarating and also a little bit disappointing that to get us all here in London, we've had to come to fight government policy. Government policy which is going to threaten our livelihoods. It's not a great place to be. However, I just put my glasses on because I've forgotten what I'm going to write down. Whether it's the latest environmental scheme, onerous plan consents, endless audits, or the latest edict on net zero. So, these are all adding costs to our business. Costs that we can't get back from the markets. We seem to struggle to get the prices we need to run our businesses. Farming is a bit like being in a casino. It's difficult to earn your money. I grow fruit for a living, and that's like playing Russian roulette with a machine gun. You just can't seem to get the money out of the markets to justify what you do, and it's getting worse. There's so many risks in the industry. Most of us are only surviving because we get subsidy. And the subsidy is like the heroin of agricultural policy. We're expected to be grateful for it. And to get off the subsidy, we have to negotiate better prices in the markets. But how can we do that when we're hamstrung with government policy? How can we do that when free trade negotiations start bringing food into our country from nations which do not restrict their farming with policy and onerous audits? How can we compete without food? Yet they still want to squeeze us. Yet they add more cost to us. IHT coming in is just going to be another cost on our bottom line. How are we going to get that back? Subsidy, they say, 4.8 billion or 5 billion, they say, in 2 years. That's the equivalent of about 8 pence per person for every man, woman and child in this country. That's just not enough. So they're cutting back subsidy and increasing our costs. I don't think they're listening. I mean, Rachel Reeves apparently was in customer complaints. I think she's meant to listen, I gather. However, do not be despondent. You always have to be optimistic in this game. That's why we're still here. It's because we are optimistic, it's because we don't give up. The government have 3 huge problems. Firstly, they cannot put up with food inflation. Food inflation is they're petrified of. They don't want to see costs going through to the customers. Secondly, self-sufficiency, food security. Even though we have free trade agreements, there are red lines on that. We cannot outsource all our food security to third-party nations. And then, of course, there's the voter. The government rely on votes, and the public are with us. Every cost they push onto us has to be met with price rises or inputs and savings. And it's physically impossible now to get money from farming. It's not there to take. Even if the government does not listen to us, the markets will. So far, we've been willing to sacrifice profit, standards of living of ourselves, because we've passed on our farms with zero inheritance tax. We're not going to continue doing that. If we have to pay more, we have to charge more. Food inflation is coming down the line. Irrespective of government policy, changes to our industry have always been running. For 400 or 500 years, we've been changing to whatever the country needs, whether we need to produce more or less. We have to be resilient. We have to change with the times. Continuing as we are is not really an option. Future generations will not make the sacrifices we've made. We need to embrace new technology, encourage young talent into farming, excel in our quality and repay the public for the faith they've shown in us. Don't forget who you are. Turn the frustration and anger and despondency that you feel with the current government into positive energy. Take the fight to them and bring the public on the journey. Never forget you are resourceful, resilient, you are great British farmers, and I'm proud to be here today. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Tim there. Okay, so next up we have a speaker from the Countryside Alliance. Please give it up for Mo Metcalf Fisher.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? Do you think that Rachel Reeves is listening? Is Keir Starmer listening? Well, then they better hear from us now. I'm going to share some words with you today, and I'm not going to put on a voice. And I want you to know, I want you to see if you remember who said these words, and I'll forgive you if you don't. It feels like a lifetime ago. I want everyone living in the countryside to know that I am determined to roll up my sleeves and restore that bond of respect between politics and people. Who do you think said that? Keir Starmer himself, our Prime Minister. Doesn't that sound like a completely missed opportunity? An opportunity to reset relationships with the farming community and the countryside as a whole. Instead, farmers are here now, when they want to be in the fields and working to produce food, to protect and enhance our beautiful countryside. The countryside that this great city, myself included as a resident here, get to go out, look at and enjoy. It's because of farming that it looks the beautiful place that it does. Thousands of you, hand it to the farmers, thousands of you across the country have joined with other farmers to take part in peaceful demonstrations, and you've been greeted by crowds, people made up from all walks of life, standing together with you to cheer you on, farmers, in this your hour of need. And I want to thank the public. Poll after poll shows that the public side with farmers in this fight and not with the government. They stand with their farmers and they are going nowhere. And it isn't just the public, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, or the countryside. It's Labour's own voters. And if they won't listen to us, I hope that they listen to them. This issue has united so many of us. We've had over 30 town halls in this country, Suffolk, Cornwall, Northumberland and Norfolk, representing millions of people voting through motions to say no to the family farm tax. The media, the great British media from left to right, have issued thousands of stories about the devastating impact that this tax is going to have on innocent farming families. And I want to say a particular thanks to the Daily Express, who has run a superb but heartbreaking Save the Family Farms crusade. Their very own front page today, talking about the heartbreaking situation that so many people here find themselves in now. And farmers did not ask for this fight, but they're not going to back down. And despite all of the warnings, be it from the media, the political opposition, our community, they still won't listen, even when they're reminded about the importance of food security and how this policy, this budget, undermines food security. The most basic job of any government in any country in the world is to get that issue right. And this government so far are throwing that away. Now is the time for the government to listen, to get the NFU, the CLA, the Countryside Alliance, all of the other people and groups represented here around the table to find a way out of the mess. No more puerile, petty politics. We need action and adults. Now, before I came here today, I went on GB News, another fantastic channel, by the way, who have done a huge amount to represent the farming community in this difficult time. And I was up against a former Labour spokesman. And I wound him up a bit. And I let him do the talking. And at the end of that interview, he said, if you can't afford to make the payments, then why don't you just sell up now? The mask dropped, ladies and gentlemen. It dropped. You can find it on Twitter, share it, because that's what they're trying to pretend isn't the reasoning behind this. And I'll say to you all, and thank you everybody, you look freezing, but this is actually exotic for a lot of farmers, this weather. And I don't know how many more times we're going to have to come to London. But I hope that whatever happens, you all stay and stand by us and stand by our farming community. Thank you so much, and keep fighting. Britain is with you. Thank you.
So another round of applause for my next Fisher there. So we've got a couple more speeches, a couple more people to come up and speak. The next person, I can't believe I'm reading this right. She's a future 9th generation Leicestershire farmer. Please give it up for Jess Sharp.
Thank you. My name is Jessica Sharp. Thank you. I want to share with you today how the impact of the inheritance tax and the government's actions will affect me and the rest of my generation. I've always dreamed of studying agriculture and taking over my family farm one day. Although now I have to question this. 4 months ago, my career plan was to go to an agricultural college. Although now, due to the 101 different ways the government are screwing farmers over, I've had to change my path at such a young age to A-levels due to the uncertainty that now lays within the future of farming. But I am so certain I am still an upcoming farmer, no matter the boundaries. I've grown up surrounded by the hard work and dedication of farmers, watching my dad and grandparents work long hours, late into the night, early mornings, every day, every weekend. They don't get weekends off. They don't get Christmas off. They work every single day. For me, it's not just about inheriting some land. It's the continuation of this legacy, the hard work that my ancestors have put into the farm. To work such long hours, for often not much money, you definitely need to have an attachment and passion towards the land. We never really own the land. We are just the custodians until we pass it on. But lately, it feels like the government have been making it increasingly difficult for farmers to continue their vital work. Whether it's inheritance tax, the subsidy cuts, undermining UK agriculture, substandard imports, the US trade deal, the list could go on. Thank you. How are we supposed to carry on the legacy of our parents and grandparents when we are constantly up against a system that seems to break us? The government continues to impose rules that punish the very people who have dedicated their lives to feeding the nation. They don't see the years of back-breaking work, the early mornings, the sleepless nights. They only see a number on a valuation of the assets. It's becoming clear that the system is stacked up against us, and it's time for this to change. How can we continue to care for the land and sustain the community when the odds are constantly being stacked higher? Who is it that steps in when towns and villages are flooded, when snow blocks the road, or when trees fall, without asking for anything in return? It's us, the farmers. Time and time again, we put in our hard work for the benefit of our community and the environment, but our efforts often go unnoticed by the government. but we continue to do it because it's the right thing to do. And there is still no job better and more important than the one rooted within the land. There are many opportunities for our generation to get involved with farming and make it something new. Technology, innovative farming practices, all with a focus on sustainability. So we, the younger generation, should still take this chance to be a part of this amazing industry. Young people should still embrace farming. It offers a chance to do something that truly matters. Farming isn't easy, but it's a job that gives back more than it asks. For those of you who are thinking about taking over the family farm, I strongly encourage you to do so, as although the financial barriers are now even tougher, farming is still worthy of existence. Let's show this government the future of farming depends on us. If we don't step up, the land that farmers have worked so hard to care for shall be lost forever. Thank you.
Come on, another big round of applause for Jess Sharp there. She nailed it. So we're going to hear from another farmer now. If you put your hands together once again. This is for Sally Field from Sussex. Take it away, Sally.
Hello everyone. I don't actually know how to follow Jess, and I apologise now. My speech was written in haste yesterday, and I'm sure I'm going to repeat a few of the things that have already been covered today. But wow, what an audience, what a day. I feel very privileged and honoured to be part of a farming community and stand in front of you and see all these tractors. It's just amazing. But firstly, I'd like to say that I think you all deserve a massive pat on the back today for coming to London, giving up a day's work and standing here united to try and make a difference and make this government listen and understand to what we're all here for and what we want to achieve. If things were different, we wouldn't be here, would we? Labour has no comprehension of the stress and the ongoing mental anxiety that they are causing to our unique way of life and farming. My name's Sally Field. I'm not a rebel, I'm not a blogger, I'm not a TikToker. I'm just a farmer's daughter with a massive passion for farming and the farming community and the way of life. We are fourth generation farmers of the Duke of Norfolk and Arundel in West Sussex. We're just a normal family. It's running a small dairy farm. I don't take a wage from the farm, nor does my brother. You maybe think we're bloody idiots for not doing that. And why do I get up at 5:30 every morning to help milk the cows? It's because we care about the land we farm, we love our animals, proud to be part of a unique industry, and it makes us help to provide food for the nation. For over 20 years, I've been very fortunate to work with 2 farming charities and been honoured to work alongside the most amazing, generous-hearted and resilient bunch of people. During this time, I thought pride was the biggest barrier to the farmers because they never want to ask for help. But now I realise this government is their biggest barrier at this point in time. After an annus horribilis year in 2022 and my brother wanted to jack it in, I started helping back at home as I was not letting our farm disappear lightly. This is very much more than just IHT. It probably won't affect us as a small dairy farm because we're not bigger and clever enough to be in that bracket. To coin a phrase, this is the final straw. This has been the catalyst for us all to come together and be united and make this government sit up and listen and understand what we do. We need to be valued and paid correctly for the hard work and services we provide. Sorry, my hands are cold. The public have been amazing on the way here today as I came up with my son George in his tractor, but the connection between the farmers and their landscape is massively undervalued. It's just taken for granted. If folk want to walk, cycle, ride and enjoy the countryside, and for it to continue looking the way it does, there's a value. They seem to appreciate it during COVID, but that seems to have been forgotten. Generations of farming families have maintained and created that landscape, which is going to be lost to houses, wacky environmental schemes, wind farms, and we will all be eating low-standard imported food if this government gets its way. They even want to stop our cows farting, but then large businesses can carbon offset by buying up decent farmland just to fudge their own goalposts, which is disgusting. Once this land is gone, it will never come back into food production. It's a finite resource. History and past world wars show how farmers fed the nation, and we must not forget this. History, repeats itself. But sadly, this government does not appear to want to understand or want to listen to any of this, does it? Their knowledge is based on inaccurate information, lies, and generated for their own purposes and gain by folks sitting behind a desk with zero or limited empathy, connection, or understanding of our industry. Each week we hear another grand policy statement on what good they're doing for our economy, and to be honest, the hole just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. As we know, farming is not 9 to 5, it's a way of life. And many folk haven't got the time, energy, resources to be here today, as at home feeding their cattle or sheep, milking this afternoon, or caring for sick, young or elderly family members. To sacrifice a day's wage is too much to ask for many when you haven't had your stewardship money and the bank is on your back. Please think about your neighbours, pop around and say hello and check in with them. On a personal note, for our family, I'd like to thank Ollie Field for being a catalyst back in November, for coming to London on his voucher tractor. He has invigorated and connected with many West Sussex farmers that now will help and support each other going forward, way beyond Starmer's reign. Please don't go it alone with any of your worries and problems, whether it's financial, personal. There are people out there that are willing to help, listen and support, and there's always a solution. We're not related, actually. I'm his auntie. There's nothing to be ashamed of by putting your head above the parapet and asking for help. Finally, we will overcome these difficulties by being united and working together, whether on a local or national level with the NFU, TFA, CLA, and drawing on each other's strengths. Work behind the scenes is as important as standing here today. Just remember, no one is bigger and better than anybody else. Please, safe driving home. Please drive safely home, and more importantly, look after each other.
Come on, another big round of applause for Sally Field. We're going to hear from one more farmer, and then we've got a very special young guest coming on. So please, in the meantime, give it up for Andrew Gibson from Canterbury.
Hello, thanks very much. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. So it was a year ago, me and my brother led 30 tractors down to Dover. We were just pissed off with everything to do with farming, all these government policies. We were 30 farmers, 30 tractors, we went down there. Now look at us today. 1,200 tractors here today. Thank you very much for turning up. These people do not understand our connection with our land. Our blood, our sweat, our tears are in that land. We want to feed them, we want to do our best. Leave us alone, let us produce your food. We just want to be left alone to do that. We are the very best in the world at it. Please, just leave us. Thank you very much. I won't be very long. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Come on, another round of applause. All these speakers are doing so well. It's so great to hear from so many people and see all of you out there. It's absolutely fantastic. We really are stronger together. So we've got a very special guest here. We've got a young lad, Bobby. Bobby, come on stage. Please give Bobby a round of applause. It takes a lot of guts to come up here. So Bobby, a few questions for you. How old are you?
10.
You're 10, and where are you from?
I'm from Kent, Tunbridge Wells.
Lovely. Right. So, are your family farmers? Does your dad farm?
Yes, we grow a lot of grass. We do sell haylage.
That's really good. And how many tractors have you got? Quite a few?
3. We will say 6 there, but second hand it breaks a lot. It breaks out a lot.
That's great. Now, are you worried about all these changes with the inheritance tax that the government are imposing?
Yes, I want to be a dairy farmer, I do, but this might not happen because Keir Starmer's with this inheritance tax, and it's a debate tonight, and hopefully it will stop. If it doesn't stop, we'll keep protesting, and hopefully it will stop.
That's great. That is so great. So one last question. You've already said this, Bobby, but one last question for everybody here. What do you want to be when you are older?
A dairy farmer. I like to work around silage. I do. I like to be around cows. We have 13 cows. We do.
That's great. Come on, give it a big round of applause for Bobby. That's great. That's what it's all about. Good job, everybody. Right, Liz is going to come back up on stage now.
Okay. We've got a bit of time, and so I'm forcing the team to come on stage here. I just want you to know that whilst I am the gobby one, there is another team here that work hard behind the scenes. So come on, guys. Come on, stop being bloody shy. It takes a lot for these guys to put up with one very fiery, feisty woman. And we've had some stressful times in the last couple of weeks. We spent a lot of time on Zoom. We haven't spent a lot of time, enough time or any time, drinking. And tonight we hopefully will make up for that. But I want to say to this team, thank you. I know I've probably been a bit stressed. And honestly, I couldn't have done it without them. You wouldn't be here without them, and we wouldn't be here right now if you guys hadn't played your part, as I said before. So, for those who haven't spoken yet, you know Ollie Fletcher. You've heard of Ollie Field, but he's shy. I'm going to make him say a few words.
Guys, what's up? All right, brothers. Thank you all for being here today. I think enough's been said, to be honest. It's a long road, and hopefully we can keep this up and keep punching hard. So thank you very much for all of you for being here.
Next we have farmer and wholesaler David Catt from Kent.
Thank you very much, everybody. Honestly, it brings tears to your eyes to see how much of our industry is here today. From all over the country, guys from Devon, guys from Dorset, Yorkshire, Leicestershire, all over the country. I'm just so proud to be a farmer and have people like you working alongside me. This is make these politicians understand where we're coming from, why we're here and what we want. Let's keep going. Thank you.
Next, I give you Simon Orson from Leicestershire.
Thank you very much, much appreciated. Thank you to everyone, especially those from Leicestershire, Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire who have made the trip down, even Mick. No, thank you very much. It's very important we all stand together, but it's also important that we have a good laugh throughout, and that's what the rest of the day's for. Thank you.
Next we have Matt Cullen, who is absolutely brilliant at logistics, which is really fortunate because I'm terrible at logistics. And Matt is from Kent.
Hello everybody, just want to say a massive thank you from the bottom of our heart. We never thought we would achieve the numbers we've got here today in tractors from what we did in December, and it has been shocking to the amount that's turned up. The actual rough true figures, give or take a few which we are still counting,
We are virtually close to 1,400 tractors here today in Whitehall. That is something that every one single farmer out there should be absolutely proud of today, that you've made the journey here. So thank you ever so much. Have a good, safe journey home with your tractors, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
And next we have Douglas Turner from Berkshire.
Hello, thanks for all the guys that come up from Berkshire this morning. A lot of them started to arrive at our farm on Thursday. I hope my voice is coming across okay. I tried to book a speech coach on Christmas Eve, but she was busy, so I went online and she was available and it was a lot cheaper. But no, thank you all. If it wasn't for you, it wasn't for us, we wouldn't be here. We think they may be listening. Whether they take any notice, we don't know. But don't forget, with the British, safe British farming, and nobody farms it better.
And finally, Simon Broad from Kent.
Well, as end of the line, there's not really much more I can say other than just thank you to everyone here for coming and supporting it. Thank you for people who come in your tractors, thank you for people who come on foot. It's just quite really humbling to look out at everyone here and just all your support. But keep going everyone, we will win this fight, we will get them to see reason at some point. Thank you.
Thanks very much everyone, and we're going to let Nick and Dad do your song again. And I want to see you dancing. Come on, let's get it going.
I'll use that one. Back again. What do you want to be? A
Let's do it. You want to hear it again then? Let's do it, come on.
Yeah, go on.
I've just been told that the words in the video are on the screen over there, so if you want to look at it and sing along, then feel free, please. That's my son. I just want everyone to know that. That's what it's all about. The kids, the future.
We're nearly finished here in London. Not sure what's going to happen after the song.
It's time you took the blame. Your body should
very cold here, very wet.
Millions feel the same. And Rachel, can't you do the maths? You got the numbers wrong when it comes to inheritance tax. Yeah, Labour. What gives you the right to take away our future? It's lies after lies. My children just want to carry on the way it's always been. Here's a message from my son. I want to be a farmer like my dad, but Keir Starmer wants to take our land. Your government will crumble, but the damage will be done. You're gonna get burned when you fly too close to the sun. Watch out, Starmer. They promise change, but it's all the same. They're selling us out for power and fame. They say they care, but it's all loud. Sitting back and watching while agriculture slowly dies. I wanna be a farmer like my dad, but Keir Starmer wants to take our land. Our family's been fought
All we want to do is farm. Take our land away for whatever reason, we can't. No land, no food.
I wanna be a farmer, like my dad. The bucket farmer wants to take our land. Rock up the money will crumble, but the damage will be done. You gotta get burned when you fight too close to the sun. Back off, Starmer. Back off, Starmer. Back off, Starmer. I want to be a farmer. Thank you. And so many
Another public announcement, the police have just awarded a credit card for Mrs. S.R. Davis.
No, nothing. You know, it's just the 70s, you know.
Yeah. But just imagine Sakia.
If you've lost
You know
your
that dirty,
card,
stinking
a credit card or
over there?
debit card,
Just imagine he's
please
watching.
come over to the
What do you want to
stage.
say to him?
What, you actually think he's watching? It'd be nice to think that, but...
Mrs.
Listen, man.
Davis.
Trust me. I know who watches this, yeah? And
The
I can
debate
tell
is
there's
going to
the
take place
wealthiest,
shortly,
richest man in the
and
world
we will
watches this. And who's that?
Screen about
Elon,
I know you're
big
probably
Elon.
cold.
So when Elon watches this, you can assure that
If you want to start
this
cleaning
little
off the
boy over
early
there will watch
guys
it
at the
too.
front,
What do you want to say
you
to
want
him?
them to do that, but obviously we'll see how he gets along. I know it's getting long, cold, but we should hear some good debates from Parliament.
You need to back down
And
because
if
it's
the
just
crowd completely
absolutely
thins
what you're
out,
doing.
we may decide to
Have a
turn
look
it
there.
off.
How many people are
before
watching now? What are the
5:30,
numbers?
But we promised the police that we will have a hard
So it's not
shutdown
many?
at
So
5:30.
what do you want to say to those 130
And also please make
odd
sure
thousand who are
you
watching?
share
Are you going to
on
thank them?
social media clips of today. Spread the message. The bigger and more connected we are, the stronger
seeing
our
everybody,
fight.
you know,
Thanks
biffing their
everyone.
horns and putting their thumbs up and waving. It's just been amazing. So please keep up the support. We really do appreciate it.
And now, do you know something? Yeah, it is great when you see so many people giving you the beeps and they're doing whatever on the streets. But tomorrow you're going back to reality, man. And like tonight, they're not going to be beeping you no more. And your alarm's going to be going off what time tomorrow morning?
6.
That's late.
Yeah, for me it is. It's terrible.
Oh my god. Listen, my man, thanks a lot.
Summertime's different.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I think it's time to go, guys. I think it's time to go.
When you all go home, very much for watching.
I think this is important actually. I've been angry. I've been angry with this government.
Yeah, we are going to.
Decisions
We're going to
made.
go. I think most people are stopping their streams. Are you stopping it now?
Whatever happens, we must look after ourselves. What do you think about the farmers? Health and mental well-being,
uniform.
they must come first. So, let's go home, think about our
Green
families and ourselves. They must come first. So go back, and let's carry on farming.
We'll have a little walk up and look at some tractors first. We'll go from there.
And next to me, we've got another well-known YouTuber. So, sir, how would you describe how everything has gone today?
Oh, it's been great. I know it's been great. It's been great to see the farmers coming out and showing support for British farming and trying to get the government to stop the inheritance tax.
And as a YouTuber, how important is it for you as an independent journalist, citizens journalist like me, to be out here giving people news? How important is that?
I love it. You know, it's great, and it's a big change from the mainstream media as well, because they always seem to have a narrative, and we come out and we show it raw, often live, like yourself, Street Michael live. And you know, I think it's a big change from the mainstream media, and it's time to take over.
Excellent stuff. Let me get a couple of more rebels. Come, will you scare them?
I'm live, I can't.
Oh, you can. So hold on, you come there. No, I won't show you that. Come there. So this man, let me come there. I won't show you.
Sorry.
Since when you're a chicken? How many thousands you got watching? Hey, sir, come. He's a chicken. What I heard, I thought.
No, it's not that.
thing overhead, isn't it?
Big up what we got.
Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. So, sir, have you enjoyed today?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. It's a bit cold, but you know, you've got to stay positive to spot what the guys are doing.
Listen, how can you say it's cold and we're out here with the farmers who are out there, don't matter what the weather is, they're out there getting our food ready?
I'm weak, man, I'm weak.
You're weak. But
I'm out in the cold all the time. I say we just saying, you know, it's out
I want Sakir to be listening. So, as a final word, what do you want to say to Sakir?
Listen to these guys. They know what they're doing. They're living the life. They're struggling to make sure that we can have the best that we've got. Listen to them and look after them, for God's sake.
Yeah, I hear you, sir, but thank you very much. And I'm going to be closing down now.
Big up Wendell, man. He's working hard, guys. Big up the street boy. And the Turbo Street boy. All amazing.
Yeah, we're the best. We're the best.
The best.
Oh, not a crosser. Should we get a monk down, see if he's there?
Monk's looking for us about it. 6 metres in the
You actually going for 3 nights?
AJ, message
Go and see some. Yeah, it's fine, isn't it?
We are the fabric of the European Union. We want to work and thrive with our own businesses. We want to bring in the next generation and employ the students and the apprentices. So
I don't know, I might go for a nice career. I can't even walk, my foot feels dead, bro. It's that cold, it's dead.
You got here early, mate.
It's so much time.
It's like a whole day filming before I get got here.
Madness, isn't it?
Got some police up there.
Yo, Mike.
I think auditing a police station is out of the question now. It's twofold, isn't it?
If I could, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, we're going now. We are off.
All these tractors thereabouts, 1400. Isn't it? There, guys.
Yeah, I think it's time to go. Not much more to see here, is there? Well, where are they? Back there? Are they coming out?
Actually, I can remember being this cold, you know. It's rough one as this, man, it really is. But that bad, it's like a number. I feel like I'm not watching, you know, when you've got a dead foot. You've got the same time on the go, same time in a way. To be honest with you, mate, I can't even tell if it's that wet. It probably is a bit wet, but it's that cold, I can't tell. I have been under the umbrella most of the time, so I might be lucky, I don't know.
Got a spare coat at the back.
I mean, I won't be wet under this, I've got this jacket on. It's very good waterproof this normally.
What you got? You'll warm up, mate, when you get in there.
They've got some decent arms on them, and all on there.
Arms? Oh, yeah.
I'm eager to see how far they go at the end of here. Surely you could actually fit all parts of the roof on this street.
Wouldn't have thought so.
No.
4 rows or 5? 4 rows.
Believe it, looks a bit.
You need like 300 each row. I would say you probably not. They're also all the way around. The left and
Yeah. Indeed they are. Oh my god. Yeah, it's pretty painful as it's apart. Yeah.
I need to get some.
Oh, we've got some going on here as well.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know what you were saying then. I didn't say that.
Zero, as in no. Look at that big dead animal on there, see it? Oh, it's a full dead pig. I'll be tempted to get it, but it's a little cold.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the food? Yeah, it didn't look, yeah, you're right there, mate. Oh, fucking hell.
Because you please blown stammer. The hammer in the face.
That's cool.
Boy.
Are you happy for these two to just go now?
Yeah, we'll help them out.
Clapping in
Thank
here.
you.
They're your friends, are they?
No, I basically just ate them.
First name terms, yeah?
Oh, they're all down there as well, look. Yeah, there's the rest of them, they're all down this street.
Oh. So guys, they're all the way down that street there, Whitehall, and all the way down that street. Well, that road there is fully blocked as well. A lot. Can we get it all in one shot? We can.
So guys, this road and Whitehall are all blocked.
Yeah, got it all in one shot there. Not that I'll really use it, but anyway. Why don't you buy like a pair of new socks or something and put them on in there? You wouldn't piece it, wouldn't it? Like a pair of dry socks, you know? Could be a sports shop up here, I think. Where is it? I've seen one. Right guys, we're going to leave the live stream now, so thanks to the 1,000 I think peak we had today tuning in.
Social medias.
Say bye, Marty.
Yeah, get it shared out there. British man, we need to stand together. Fuck Starmer, clown.
Share it. You heard it. Share it.